What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to Damu Keyway Conversations. Hit that like button. We is live, about to react to that dope-ass motherfucking premiere. Shout out to my partner, Ya. He'll be on his way. Hit that like. I'm not hitting this long-ass content till y'all do that, so get used to it. You know what? First off, salute to all my people that's on Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? That supporting. I know that's a dying app. We appreciate the support. And active in the chat. The chat's where it's at. Salute to Selena. Salute to I'ma call y'all back. Salute to Dose of Reality TV. You see that channel right there? That's the team's Damu and Keyway comedy channel. It's called A Dose of Reality TV. So over there, you're going to get the talented A Dose of Reality TV with the visuals, and you're going to get Yael. And I know y'all been asking, hey, we want Yael to do voiceovers. Y'all want that? Y'all want the visuals, the cartoons, the AI? Go subscribe to A Dose of Reality TV. He's the dopest in the game. He done carved out his own niche, and we finna lock this sector down. Salute to him and my brother Yael. That shit me and y'all doing is great. It's powerful. But it ain't as talented as those creative juices that them brothers be sharing with each other. Pause. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? That brother's definitely over there building. Chris, salute. Richie Rich, salute. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bloody Bunch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stand On It Media. Shout out to District 13. We are in the building. Oh, Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Let me start this for y'all real quick while we wait on Yael to go. I'm finna get my coffee. Y'all regulate that. Get them to hit that chat because we is going live right now with this premiere and reacting to this. So, yeah, that doesn't sound like you're not involved right there to me, Cash McElroy, Cash App Jones, you know what I'm saying? Sound like you picked a side, nigga, and you got involved in something. And I'm quite sure if they did know that, they applied pressure, and you were still dealing with Mark Stevens, calling Mark Stevens, trying to get in contact with Dale Dog. This was after the attempts on his life. Gave them Stutterbox address as alleged. We're going to get into that. So, let's get into this one real quick on this article. While he's gone, we could run this and get through this shit so that so this was a digital press article from the LA Times press reader, and this was June 16th, 2011. The former Laker and a business partner were questioned in a 2008 LA attack. LA Sheriff's Department. Let's go ahead and blow this up a little bit. Looked into allegations against Shaquille O'Neal in 2009. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in 2009 investigated allegations that Shaquille O'Neal was connected to a beating, robbery, and kidnapping by gang members of a man claiming to have a sex tape of the basketball star, according to records reviewed by the Times. That's it. So the sheriffs then allowed the Times to review these records. Detectives found phone records showing a flurry of calls between the alleged ringleader of the assault and O'Neal's business partner around the time of the February 2008 incident, a sheriff's investigative report said. So now they have the evidence and the proof from the wiretap of a flurry of calls between Dale Dog and O'Neal's business partner, who was Mark Stevens. O'Neal and his business partner, Mark Stevens, denied any involvement in the attack when interviewed by sheriff investigators. Neither man has been charged in connection with the case. So now we read for you guys the paperwork that CS2 back claimed Duse M paid somebody and made up 14 pages, additional pages. Because first I presented the 3-page wiretap, which was only pertaining to him being referred to as CS2 back. Then later, I exposed the 14 pages, which I read to you guys. And he said, I paid somebody to make 14 more pages of what you call it. I mean, they had to know who the investigators were. They had to know that it was the sheriff's report, right? All of the details, dates, the fact that it was picked up on wiretaps, the wiretap date with that recording phone call. But Duse M and them niggas made fake paperwork on CS2 back. Crazy. That added Cash Jones' name in the paperwork. The victim, Robert Ross, told authorities in early interviews that he believed O'Neal was behind the attack because of a business deal gone bad and because O'Neal believed he had a tape of the former Lakers center having sex with a woman other than his wife. Ain't that the exact language that we read in the paperwork?
Correct. Damokiwe conversations.
This week, Ross testified in Los Angeles County Superior Court during preliminary hearing for 7 members of the Main Street Crip gang accused of kidnapping him from West Hollywood and beating him while demanding the videotape. The gang members face charges of kidnapping, robbery, assault with a firearm, and criminal conspiracy. So Robert Ross, Stutterbox, testified at preliminary hearing. He didn't just go to the station and rat. He did that also, you know what I'm saying, at the behest of Darren Dupree. He took a step further and was bold enough to take the stand during preliminary hearing of these 7 Main Street Mafia Crips. I wonder how we was able to get all of those names to make up some fake paperwork, because all of those names who were charged sure were detailed in those 14 pages. Law enforcement officials Wednesday declined to say.
I don't need you to hold nothing.
Really? It seems like
mute up,
you all
y'all.
right?
Oh, I'm not.
You okay?
No, I'm not. I think you have a real.
Look, I am pressing the line at work. So, law enforcement officials Wednesday declined to say what role, if any, O'Neal and Stevens had in the incident. But early in the investigation, it was clear that detectives suspected the pair might somehow have been involved. Mike B, what up? In a July 2009 letter asking for leniency in Ross's sentencing for unrelated federal drug and firearm charges. So Ross had a gun and drug charges in July 2009. I guess he was getting sentenced. A sheriff's captain wrote that Ross was cooperating with law enforcement as a victim and witness in a West Hollywood incident that may implicate a celebrity, an apparent reference to O'Neal. So, this nigga, Robert Ross, not only was an FBI informant, he got so much plug that the captain of the sheriffs wrote a letter asking for leniency in his sentencing for some pistols and some dope. These rats is really dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Really, really dangerous. So he was also a victim and a witness, not a confidential source. He went to court, which would mean if he was just a confidential source, he would have been a 270. He wouldn't have been a 137. Let's go. The motive for the crime was retaliation by a celebrity who believed Ross was having an affair with his wife. Captain David Smith of the Sheriff's Homicide Bureau wrote, according to a copy of the letter obtained by the LA Times. So the LA Times got the leniency letter that Captain David Smith of the Sheriff Homicide Bureau wrote. Nigga, he got pulled with the Homicide Bureau of the Sheriffs. Nigga, He was been providing information about hot ones
for a long time.
Hey, bro, this nigga talking about, I heard the nigga Wack say the nigga told him, oh yeah, Duse M is scared to pass out backpacks and this and this and that. I guess because I told him I didn't want no problems with him. And he said Duse M is scared of him. Nigga, I ain't scared of no man on planet Earth. Now, what I was afraid of is that, nigga, I show up to where we supposed to meet up on some gangster shit, and you call the police the same way you did when you got on the phone with Dale Dog, nigga. When you turn pussy again and want to bring the laws into it, nigga. Yeah. Once a bitch, always a bitch. All it takes is enough pressure, and you'll lift your little skirt up again and show your pussy, nigga. Captain David Smith of the Sheriff Homicide Bureau wrote, according to a copy letter obtained by the Times. So y'all don't have to believe me on these facts. Y'all could go contact the LA Times and get this. The celebrity enlisted the help of 7 mainstream
YouTube, hit that like on
with
YouTube.
extensive
Let's go.
criminal history to commit the kidnap, robbery, and assault. The ongoing investigation regarding the celebrity and his manager may also result in charges filed, Smith wrote at the time. So they might be charging Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens. On Wednesday, sheriff officials would not comment on how the investigation had progressed in the 2 years since Smith's letter, or how their understanding of the motive behind the alleged kidnapping may have changed. Detective Paul Fournier, the lead investigator of the case. Who was the lead investigator into the Robert Ross getting kidnapped and robbed and beat up? Detective Paul Fournier.
Damn.
The lead investigator. Not Greg Caden, not Darren Dupree. Paul Fournier. His partner.
Nasty word.
Is Detective Michael Coet. You remember Coet, Yael? Remember?
Yeah.
We was doing a thing in Hollywood, a podcast before it was from Bond First, you know what I'm saying? And they had ended up taking it down, but before they take it down, we did our podcast. And there was that sheriff that and he said, they asked him, well, how do you feel about, you know, the y'all investigation with the task force, you know what I'm saying, with Greg Caden's task force not being able to get convictions and this and this and that and arrest. And he said, well, it was a lot of bickering going back because Greg Caden, they put in all this work, the sheriffs put in all this work on this investigation. This was a big catch. You know what I'm saying? This is a famous superstar, Shaquille O'Neal. So the sheriffs wanted to have the highlights of being able to tie him into this because this is what they believe happened based on the evidence that was presented, right? Greg Caden and Darren Dupree, for some reason, undermined their investigation. And we'll get more into that too. Y'all make sure that y'all hold me accountable to that, because that's the most integral part of why the 7 Main Streets were released and the case was dismissed. But he said there was only one person who was arrested in regards to this investigation. You remember that?
Can I take a guess at who was arrested? Can I guess? Can I guess?
Take a guess.
I think we're gonna go with Cash McElroy Jones. Is that correct?
Let's hit that like button. So the lead detective of the case, Paul Fournier, his partner, Michael Coet, they're both sheriffs who were on the joint task force with Greg Caden. They were the lead investigators on this case. And he said Cash Jones was the only one arrested.
That's crazy, bro.
He would know. He would know. Me and my partner ran this investigation. But anyway, attorney Nicholas Tonsich, who represented both Mark Stevens and O'Neal during their during their interviews with sheriff investigators,
correct.
Respond to repeated requests for comment late Wednesday. So they're telling you that the sheriffs are the ones that interview Mark Stevens and O'Neal. That's the paperwork that I read y'all with their interview about this crime, alleged crime. O'Neal's management company also did not respond to requests for comment. Ross walked into the Los Angeles Police Department 77th Street Division in February 2008 with his face cut and bleeding and his clothes bloody, according to sheriff's January 2009 investigative report. He said armed Main Street Crip members whom he had grown up with and recognized kidnapped him in West Hollywood and ordered him to drive his Rolls Royce to the South LA house of Ladell Rawls, the gang's alleged shot caller. So now, not only did he incriminate and implicate his childhood friends in a crime, multiple felony crimes, he also tells these police sheriffs that Ladell Rawls is the shot caller. You know
wow, that's doing something else.
Oh yeah, this is box. This is just a little bit of box.
Damn.
But he hates being called a rat. Why do rats hate being called rats? It's their nature. But anyway, the gang members beat him up and took from him $15,000 in cash, a diamond necklace and earrings, and a Rolex watch, he told investigators. During the beating, Rouse, known as Del Dog, told Ross, Mark and Shaq know who the real boss is now, and demanded the videotape and $100,000, according to the report. Ross told investigators that, he implicates Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens. So make sure you add that to the list of 7 Main Street Crips. Ross told investigators that events leading to the kidnapping started with a business deal gone sour. Ross introduced rap star Ray J to O'Neal and Stevens' record label, expecting to receive a percentage of the profits, but was later cut out of the deal. Around the same time, that's cruddy, Mark Stevens. If that's what Ray J also said, that's cruddy if you did them like that, but that's y'all money situation. Maybe y'all had a better understanding that they're not giving up. I would like to know what you think about that, Mark Stevens. Tap in. Around the same time, O'Neal, who was having marital troubles, had his wife followed by a private investigator who took photos of her having lunch with Ross, according to the report. Damn, hey, Yael, Ross is, Robert Ross Jr. is, or the third is, right? Oh, he probably busy. Ross, upset over the deal, told Stevens and O'Neal through a friend that he had a surveillance tape of O'Neal having sex with a woman at Ross's home in July 2007. What up? Ross told investigators that he was bluffing to get the money that he felt he was owed. The attack occurred 2 weeks later. So during the paperwork that we read, we understand that the friend that Robert Ross's friend were told Stevens and O'Neal through a friend that he had a surveillance tape of O'Neal having sex with a woman at Ross's home. So that friend is Cash McElroy Jones. We read that through the paperwork, and that's what Robert Ross said, putting the police on Cash Jones, implicating WACK100 in a blackmail conspiracy to blackmail and extort Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens for money. He was to get the money he felt he was owed. This whole conspiracy with Robert Ross and Cash Jones was planned and plotted to get the money that he felt he was owed from being cut out the Ray J deal, right? The attack occurred 2 weeks later. So after that happened, 2 weeks, they tell him, TMZ will pay a lot of money for it. I got the tape. Yael, I want them to hear Cash McElroy Jones, CS2 back, telling Shaq and Mark Stevens, I got the tape. Paul Root. Nigga, TMZ pay a lot of money for this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Ross and O'Neal and Rouse knew each other because he had introduced them. O'Neal funded a documentary for Rouse through his record label and mentioned Rouse and Ross by their gang monikers in one of his rap songs. Ross told investigators, "Oh yeah, you know he knows them. He mentioned them and said their name and my name in a rap song. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, he making sure he's a long tail rat. You know what I'm saying?" O'Neal was interviewed by investigators in September 2008 at a locker room at USC's Gallon Center. Trojan man, remember the paperwork said at the Gallon Center, USC, that's in the sector. When he was told of Ross's allegations that O'Neal had ordered the kidnapping to retrieve the sex tape, O'Neal adamantly denied having been involved, according to the sheriff report. Respectfully, Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens have never been charged. The jurisdiction for such a crime is already expired, and he adamantly denied having been involved. Let's make sure we note that for the followers. You know what I'm saying? Even if there had been a sex tape, Shaq told investigators, he wouldn't have cared if it was made public because he and his wife were getting a divorce. He told Stevens to pass that message to Ross. The report states, he also said he didn't believe Stevens would have been involved in any kidnapping scheme, according to the report. Don't those 14 pages detail in the statement Shaq made, detail all of this? O'Neal said he had met several Main Street Crip gang members during toy donation events in South Los Angeles, but did not have a personal relationship with them. O'Neal told authorities he had severed ties with Ross about a year before the interview because of Ross's criminal troubles, believing that it would be bad for his image. Sounds like the exact same shit in that paperwork. Stevens, who was interviewed around the same time as O'Neal, told investigators he found out about Ross's assault 3 or 4 days after the fact from Ross's brother and another friend. Why are they not mentioning Cash's name in this thing? They keep saying another friend. Oh, we gonna go to that paperwork. We almost finished. But we gonna get to this another friend by going back to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal's statement before we move on. Because for some reason, Detective Fournier and Detective Coet did not want to mention Cash Jones' name. Shaq was in charge. Mark Stevens was in charge, yet they said their name. But why wouldn't they mention the name that Robert Ross gave up, the name that Mark Stevens gave up? Let's go. He said he had a business level relationship with Rouse, helping him organize charity events. At the time of the attack on Ross, the gang members had already been under surveillance as part of an ongoing federal investigation into the Main Street Crip gang. So the feds already got their investigation going on when Cash Jones takes this message to Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens, and 2 weeks later, Stutterbox is kidnapped and all of that. The phones is already tapped, right? In one wiretap phone conversation 6 months after the attack, Rouse told Stevens that Ross had gone sour and that the police had contacted him, according to the report. Investigators also obtained phone records documenting a flurry of calls from Mark Stevens to Liddell Ross and from Ross to other gang members at or around the time of the kidnapping. The sheriff report states, 2 attorneys representing defendants in the case Wednesday questioned Ross's credibility. Pointing to his criminal record, attorney Vincent J. Oliver said the prosecution case rests solely on Ross's account. He said the fact that Ross was lying about having the sex tape cast more doubt on his testimony. Rouse attorney Ronald J. Higgins disputed that his client was the shot caller in the game. Del Dog didn't like that he was being labeled the shot caller and said he was a respected member of the community. Ross is expected to resume his testimony when the preliminary hearing continues in July. Well, in July, Greg Caden said he couldn't allow Detective Coet and Detective Fournier to get on the stand and expose based on Robert Ross's testimony because he had caught him in lies. But just because you caught him in one lie, you can lie in the court, and the judge will pass on a instruction to the juries that they know that you lying about that, but it doesn't mean that everything else you're saying is lies, like him being a rat. Well, there's gang members here. I don't want everybody to know I'm a rat. Look, like button, show a little being called a rat today, right? I don't want everybody to know I'm a rat, so look, jurors, we want to give you an instruction. Salute. We're going to impeach him, or we want you to treat him as a hostile witness because we know that he doesn't want to be known as an informant. It would put his life into danger, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that everything else that he's saying isn't true. But this part, we know that he's lying. They can concede to that. That don't mean the case get dismissed. So when WACK100 is saying that that's how it goes, he's a bold-faced lie. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get rid of that LA Times article. You know, that was an old article out the LA Times, you know what I'm saying, which documented it. And it was pretty, it was very accurately consistent with the sheriff paperwork we previously read to you. On top of that, I got to go to the paperwork. Let me get the paperwork for y'all because all I need to get is where they were talking about Cash Jones delivered the thing. So we just got to go to Robert Ross's statement, and then we're going to know that it was the friend was Cash Jones. But they didn't want that in the news. These police officers were very careful not to put out everybody that was involved in the evidence that they had. That's very that's very suspicious because they definitely put out these targets of the investigation. Wack always claiming he was a target, and I don't even know why, because you could be targeted right now and be the kingpin and end up snitching and getting and snitching on your plug. You know what I'm saying?
Target. I got the work.
Yeah, target. No, I got the tape.
I got the tape. I had to say work because guess what? This paperwork is about him. So technically,
yeah. Now when you was busy, we had got to a part where they were saying the friend went to Shaq and Mark Stevens and told them that Stutterbox got a tape of him fucking
I'm listening, Deuce.
Huh?
I'm listening.
That they had a tape of Shaq fucking a bitch that wasn't his wife.
Oh, when Stutterbox was trying to blackmail him into getting that money out of him.
Right. And his friend, they weren't talking to Stutterbox at the time. They had cut him off. So his friend, right? The newspaper article I read said his friend. But right here on page 5, it says Ross, who was still upset over the fact that he was owed money, had a friend named Cash Jones deliver a message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. Jones told them that Ross had a videotape. Hey, Blood got the tape. Fucking a bitch inside of his house in July 2007. Damn. And TMZ paid a lot of money for that tape, right?
Oh man, he's nasty for that, bro. He's nasty.
All right, and then right here it says this is what. So now Stutterbox implicated WACK100.
Excuse me.
Tell me, do you find that suspicious, Yael?
Bro,
here in the paperwork, it says that Robert Ross had a friend named Cash Jones delivered a message to Mark and Shaq.
Right.
But the newspaper article from the LA Times, the sheriffs were running this content. Bro, that's something else. Pay attention how the crooked news media works with law enforcement to put out certain information and withhold back other information to control the narrative.
And help spin the narratives in the crooked person, police, or whatever media outlets favor, so the narrative can get pushed as a truth.
By the police.
That is disgusting, bro.
Super disgusting. But it's been like this since the Panthers. But I'm hoping that they're able to see this, but for some reason, Yael, on the newspaper article, it said he had a friend, but it wouldn't say Jones' name. Every time Wack, the newspaper wouldn't say his name. The sheriffs didn't want his name out there. And then here it go again.
Dang. You know what? Remember what you said, Deuce.
Yeah.
Some people don't get their names exposed because of their position and what their monikers are. Remember, he said he never went by a certain moniker.
Yeah.
You know, his moniker was CS2 137.
Right.
Yeah, that was his moniker.
So those sheriffs, Fournier and Detective Coet being the same one that said the only one they arrested was him. So right here it said, I need to talk to you. Stutterbox telling Mark Stevens. This is Mark Stevens saying he received a voicemail from Stutterbox stating, I need to talk to you, man. The big fella, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes. Soon after he got that message, Mark received a call from Cash Jones. Jones told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross's home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money. Now that's where I need you to say, I got the tape. Yeah.
Well, in the words of CS2 back, because you know how he acts. Hey,
right.
Hey, listen. I know some niggas that'll pay a pretty penny to see that video. Guess what? I got the tape.
I got the tape. Remember the DeJa34 extortion plot?
Wow, wait a minute. He said he had the tape on him too.
And he said we're going to stop that right there because I want to show y'all the DeJa34 thing and the Kim K Kanye thing. So y'all can see that this just seems to be CS2 Back's MO. Hey, yo, hit that like button. We cooking up in this motherfucker. I don't know where y'all at, but it's all right because one thing for sure, two things for certain. We're going to start with Ye. Let's go.
They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see,
you.
it ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for minutes of Farrakhan, I love you. But the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slights from nobody. Right? I ain't taking no slights from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm Christian.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
All right, that was Kanye West, and he was basically talking about all the shit he had to do with this. Let's get into this Kim K, and y'all can remember, maybe this will bring y'all into the time when Kim Kardashian was crying. So if y'all didn't know, there were 2 tapes made with Ray J and Kim Kardashian. The first one that they was putting out, allegedly, Kim Kardashian mom seen it and said this was unbecoming of her daughter. And just like a madam, she pimped her out and told her she got to shoot another video. That's the one that went viral and that was leaked. The second video, the first video remained in the custody of Ray J and his so-called manager, CS2 Back. Like, this is what happened.
Oh, Kim. Oh, my God. That's amazing. Kanye flew home last night, and he came back this morning. I want to show you guys what he got me. He got me all of the sex tape back. Oh, Kim. Oh, my God. That's amazing. Kanye flew home last night, and he came back this morning. I want to show you guys what he got me. He got me all of the sex tape back. Oh, Kim. Oh, my God. That's amazing. Kanye flew home last night, and he came back this morning. I want to show.
Hey, listen, man. She was a dope. If that's what they own, hey, man, I ain't never gonna be the one hating on somebody getting their money as long as they can live with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to this Oscar De La Hoya situation, because this was supposed to have been another one. Let's go.
Usually another quick one. Well, this story is concerning former 6-weight division champ, Golden Boy CEO, Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, this guy just can't keep himself out of trouble. The guy just can't keep himself out of trouble since retiring. I understand, yes, a lot of boxers do struggle with mental health and all of that once they retire. But this guy actually landed on his feet, you know, started a successful boxing promotion company. Golden Boy is one of the biggest boxing promotion companies out there. So he's actually lucky comparing to, you know, other boxers and that. But the boy just, your boy just can't keep himself out of trouble, man. One scandal after another, you know. And we all know about his well-publicized drug issues and all that, rehab and all that. But I thought he turned the corner after going rehab and that. But apparently not. About a week ago, you know, it was publicized that there's a sex tape out there and he's being extorted for it, you know. And WACK100 of all people, WACK100 of all people has been extorting Oscar De La Hoya with his sex tape. Well, allegedly. But you got to take what Wack says with a pinch of salt, because, yeah, you can't believe everything WACK100 says, man. But not only that, about 3 days ago, allegedly, again.
This dude taking too long to talk. We're going to go ahead and cut him off. But he basically is, he basically already let y'all know that it's WACK100. That said, he said he got 800,000 out of that extortion move with the video. I got the tape, right? So you got the tape with Ray J and Kim K. You worked that one. You got the tape with Oscar De La Hoya doing some kind of weird shit, cross-dressing, allegedly, right? You got the tape on Nipsey Hussle. Remember he said Nipsey Hussle and some other dude was training Nipsey Hussle's first baby mama, China? He said he got that tape too. This is his mode of operandi. So now let's back up. Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens are being blackmailed in a conspiracy to extort Mark Stevens and Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal. This shit is nasty work. This is hot content. Where the fuck y'all at, man? Let's get back to the content, man. Let me show y'all this work, man. We got that work for y'all, man. We got that work. Let's go. 800. I'm gonna play that when we go live. Remind me. Let me put that.
I got
down
you
here
in the notes. Put that in the notes, please.
Yeah. De La Hoya. So the feds and the task force,
right?
Hoya extortion. Okay, blackmail, extortion. Okay. Oh, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim K and Ye extortion. Oh yeah, so this is his MO. WACK100's whole get down is to extort and blackmail these people in the industry, and I guess the joint task force has no problem with him doing and getting away with these crimes. But we finna get into this content real quick as they talk about it. Hey, CS2 back, you said the paperwork was fake. Well, we gonna show you. Hey, y'all pay attention to that main point. When we talk about the hip-hop police, when we talk about COINTELPRO, these joint task force knows they bragging publicly about these extortion and blackmail things, and they're doing crimes because they have immunity. Let's go, man. Pay attention. This is one of the things that you can see and notice that could give you the heads up that you work with somebody who's a known federal source. Let's go. That we already showed you that paperwork, the 14 pages, was legitimate, right? And now we're going to get to the wiretap that we already have broke down. And we're going to show you that. But let's go. I think this is it. Let me see. I didn't want to see the hope this is it. I passed. I believe y'all. Oh, yeah. He said, WACK100 speaks on Stutterbox and says Greg Caden will bring all the paperwork to 100 ENT. Hey, what happened to that? We want the 302 from WACK100, and I'm going to show y'all why. Let's go.
Yeah. So what do you got to say to those folks who actually said that and it never actually happened?
Well, first and foremost,
I did bring the paperwork. We just went over it. That's one of his dick suckers, T100. So that's the narrative, false narratives they push.
I've never had a Cody or a crimey. I've always sent people home from the substation. So every time I went to jail, I did my time, took my time, did my time. So there is no paperwork on WACK. I have never, ever been arrested or convicted of a felony as an adult. Let me repeat that. I have never been arrested or convicted of a felony as an adult. I was a minor convicted and charged as an adult at 16.
Right.
I've been home 23 years. I have never had a felony charge since I've been home as an adult. I left a minor, came back, paroled an adult. So I don't know what case or what they're referring to. I've had a situation or two where I had some people attempt to tell on me what I call a lie snitch.
Right.
See, snitches is snitches. Snitches when a nigga tell on something you're doing. A lie snitch is when a nigga create a lie on something you're doing and they put the police on you. So you have a book called Murder Rap by Greg Cadence. If you go to the chapter Stutterbox.
I'm going to also show y'all why you don't go read a book that a police officer wrote for the rendition of what the facts of the case are. They're going to give you facts of the case, but they're going to paint the story and only give you the facts of the case that they want to. We want the paperwork. Wack said that Greg Caden was going to bring all of the paperwork to 100 ENT. Make sure you bring the paperwork, and I'm going to read y'all this in a minute. Let's go.
You will see pictures of WACK100, Suge Knight, and a whole story of a dude attempting to tell on me where they put tracking devices on my vehicles, wiretaps, all that, kick my door in, cuff my wife up, raided my house, only to leave empty-handed. Because of that, their informant Stutterbox, they turned on him and arrested him.
Unless they found
same individual. If you go to Google and Google Robert Ross, you will see a bunch of
Google,
shit show up where
all
he had
that.
his
Bring
own
the
homeboys in
paperwork,
jail,
nigga.
accusing them of kidnap and malicious intent of assault. There is also a movie on Netflix called Unsolved, Biggie Tupac. That's the story of the book Murder Rap. There's a scene in there where you got, you know, the dude that play Uncle Jerome in Snowfall.
Yeah.
He pulls up to the donut shop in a Rolls Royce, and he's stuttering, and he's meeting with the police, and he tells them, I know this dude that got a trucking company, and he moving dope for Suge, right? That's Stutterbox. The dude he's talking about is me. They also got a scene where you see the police go put a tracking device on the diesel. That's my diesel. They got a scene where they pull the diesel over and search the back of the diesel, and they find nothing but magazines. Those magazines are straight stud magazines, right? That whole shit is about me, right?
How is all of this about you? Let me stop sharing because this is going to be funny. How is all of this about you, but you got nothing to do with the case? Remember, he got nothing to do with the case. But let's go to my boy, a Dose of Reality TV. I told y'all he's the golden child, man. This is what he do. Hold on. Let's see where he got it. Oh, I don't see the damn video. Man, I wanted to show y'all that video. Hey, Dose, or somebody from the team, could y'all put that video of the trucker getting pulled over in the back chat? I want everybody to be able to see that shit. Yeah. I know how to get to it fast. All I gotta do is this. Y'all just gotta bear with me. It's gonna be worth the little couple minute wait. You know what I'm saying? Let me see chat. No. All right, let me go all the way up. Damn, that's crazy. Anybody else want to put that in the chat for me? When CS2 back is getting pulled over in that truck. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can't wait for this thing, that's just y'all bad. It's gonna take me a couple seconds. You know what I'm saying? Let me see where the hell that video at. It's nasty work. You know what I'm saying? We all know who it was. You know what I'm saying? It might be. I might have put it on YouTube already. Fuck it. I'm almost there now. So just bear with me. Hey, hit that like button on your way in. We cooking tonight. And that's one of the reasons why I'm taking my time on this. What is this one? No. Man, shout out to the whole team, man. They've been putting that work in, right? Oh, they say that's Duse M rizzling when I'm 80. I don't know if I'm going to still be rizzling. The way it's going, it might be working, man. That thing might still be working at 80. Let me see. Let me see where we at. Bear with me, man. I know we exposing. Oh, they already put it in the chat. So thanks to the team. Thanks to the team. Hold on. Let me show y'all this. Y'all gonna love this. Hold on. It was worth the wait. You know what I'm saying? It was worth the wait. Hold on. Let's go.
Talk to dog.
We're good.
I talk to dog.
We're good.
I talk to dog.
We're good.
I talk to dog.
Hey, go check out the Dose of Reality TV, man. Thanks for helping me out on that one, man. We're going to get back to the content. But that's CS2 back reenactment of CS2 back walking past, Darren Dupree walking past CS2 back after he searched the thing. It looked suspicious, like he knew something was up. Let's get back to it. Let's go.
But it's written in the book. I had Reggie Wright
like
that
button if you just coming back in.
These rumors came out, and Greg Caden just agreed 3 days ago to come to the podcast and bring all this paperwork and documents on Stutterbox to show Stutterbox work.
No. Stutterbox, we already know is a rat. We just read the paperwork that exposed him. just because Stutterbox was a rat does not preclude you from also giving up intelligence, giving up information to get your ass up out of whatever they caught you doing, nigga.
So, Deuce, real
Stop
quick,
deflecting,
to boomerang off of that. So basically, what he's doing is he's so bent on not admitting and letting people to like see the blur, the lines in their face that he is a rat. He's like, look, Stutterbox did XYZ. Stutterbox did this. Nigga, what about what you did, snitch? It all comes back full circle to you, because when your ass got caught for them guns, that's when your fucking work was begun. And that's how we know you've been working for a long time, CS2 back.
Oh, a very long time.
Very long time.
What's crazy, he tells us on Clubhouse, he tells Clubhouse, and it goes to YouTube, that he was under surveillance, and that they ended up raiding his house, like he was just talking about, handcuffing his wife, searching his truck, which means there was a warrant to search his truck. There was a warrant to search his house. A judge had to sign off on that, right? And he said after that, he went to the 64th floor, and this is where he spoke with the people. Well, he said they weren't feds. He tried to play semantics because Greg Caden and Darren Dupree are LAPD officers, but they are also deputized FBI agents, right? The whole task force was deputized FBI agents. So once we finish this, I'm going to let y'all know exactly why, and prove that WACK100 did go to the 64th floor on Wilshire to FBI headquarters and did speak with the police.
Work for him as a paid informant and tell the story on how he got put on me.
Listen, I know a lot of people say that there's paperwork on WACK100, but he was thoroughly investigated, man, and someone put the feds onto him, and he came out clean. I would say that that's a good thing, and he did have his business together, but he may have been involved in something, some way, somehow, or maybe someone looked at his opulent lifestyle and did not believe that such opulence could come from legitimate business, and he had to be doing something dirty, considering the fact that he was running with Pyrus. But how many of y'all watch the murder rap TV show, man? And tell me what y'all think about that in the comment section, man. I'm gonna let y'all get back to it.
So the only way that my name could be in their paperwork is from the wiretap that this nigga had them put on my phone. Wow. So if a nigga wiretap your phone, right, it's investigation. I call T, what up, nigga? What's up? What you doing today? Meet me at the spot. All that's gonna be in there. So they say phone call, you know, WACK100 to T. Phone call, WACK100 to here. And see, that's how they tap your phone, T. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they tap mine, now I'm calling you. Now you a POI, person of interest. So now they tap your shit. So now if you calling this other motherfucker, they gonna tap his shit. It goes on for like 6 months. And when they don't kidnap on you, they gotta send you a letter in the mail, let you know your shit was tapped. But other than that, can't nobody provide or produce no paperwork or WACK cooperating, telling, testifying, or any of that. I am one of the loudest individuals, one of the hatest individuals, most hated in the industry. Do you think if they had some paperwork on WACK100, they wouldn't have been on the line?
That's a fact.
So that's all that is. But like I said, the book is called Murder Rap by Greg Cadence. You can go to like Kindle and all this shit, put it up, go to the chapter called Stutterbox. You can get straight to it. In there's also another dude named Keefy D. That was a dude that killed Tupac's uncle. He was also an informant. When he retired, he exposed everybody that was telling in that book. Cold cop, but he did it. Yeah. So I don't know where they got that from. I'm pretty sure when they went back and did they do diligence.
In the other video.
Yeah, my name might be in the paperwork, but my name in the paperwork as a mother they investigate, not a motherfucker telling.
Deputized police, local police.
So, but you know, like I said, bro, ain't no way a nigga got some work on WACK. It ain't hit. They job every day on this app, on the internet. Everything is to find something on me. He the one ran death row, right? I told him to go find the police nigga that Stutterbox was working for.
All right, hold on. I'm finna read that to you right now, Mike B. See, that's why you can't miss it. The whole thing. I broke it down so that when you get to this part, y'all already are aware of what a deputized police officer is. So essentially, they're temporary FBI officers, right? So state and local law enforcement members of the task forces are deputized as special federal officers and special deputy marshals. The FBI currently has the authority under 21 USC subsection 878 to bestow special federal officer status to state and local law enforcement officers assisting in FBI drug investigations. However, the Bureau must rely on the U.S. Marshal Service to provide Title 18 special deputation to state and local officers who are participating in fugitive apprehension activities and other non-drug task force activities. Special deputy status is important to task force members because it enables them to act as federal law enforcement officers while under the supervision of the FBI. Special deputy status is more extensive than special federal officer status, as it extends beyond drug investigations. Prior to deputation, the officer would be functioning as a federal officer without the proper authority. This could place the officer in a position where any civil liability incurred would be without the backing of the federal government. So I hope that you was able to get up on that. Let's go here and back to the content. Let's go.
Oh, that was paying. Reggie just hit me back and said, dude said he'd come in and do the podcast with me and bring all the paperwork in on Stutterbox. See, I tell these wow. See, now you done did that. Now I'm going to have the police, he retired, come in. He going to tell the whole story, how Box put him on me. Everything, the shit I didn't know, everything. Reggie hit me today and said, Wack, I found him. He said he'd be honored to come in with you because he violated your home for no reason. That's the least he could do. He bring in all the paperwork, dude was a worker, the informant, all that. See,
he coming to the real one? The real podcast? Like,
no.
So what we're gonna do?
Yeah, the real part, the motherfucking
that's good enough. So Greg Caden said that he was gonna bring all of the paperwork of and information that Robert Ross Stutterbox gave. Well, we just read his statement to the police on this. And if you got something else, feel free to bring that. But listen, we were talking about this was all after I revealed the federal wiretap of Mark Stevens, Deldall, WACK100, and they're talking about the Stutterbox situation. Hit that like button. And it's somebody named CS2 back on there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about. Why are you talking about Robert Ross? We even got Greg Caden lying, saying CS2 back was Box. How was CS2 back Box when on the wiretap, CS2 back is calling Mark Stevens to tell him that Box went sour and that the phones was tapped. That Box went sour on him. So let's do this real quick before we get into Greg Caden and WACK100 showing that WACK100 went and talked to him. So Greg Caden, go ahead and please bring to the 100 ENT side any 302s you got on Robert Ross and information you got to provide about him telling. It'd really help us, add a lot of pieces of the puzzle in place. But don't neglect the fact this all started when we revealed the wiretap that we're going to prove you substantiated the authenticity of the wiretap saying CS2 back. Where your boy, informant, confidential source, let me be technically correct. Your confidential source, that ain't my boy, said that Duse M, Lamonte, pay attention, added CS2 back to the wiretap and his fake paperwork. We got Greg Caden admitting that the paperwork says CS2 back. In fact, he's arguing against Scandalous Los Angeles, saying, wait, Doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? So now we know that the paperwork has CS2 back on that wiretap, on that call, calling Mark Stevens.
So basically, Deuce,
yeah.
you went, got a typewriter, the paper, became a stenographer, and you typed up all of this stuff, predated, and put in parentheses CS2 back, not WHACK, but BACK in the paperwork, correct?
Well, first, yeah, that's what he said I did. But first,
all right,
let's get here. So you know that why are you lying about a case that you say you had nothing to do with, and then why they ran into your house? So he said the reason they ran into his house was because he was living beyond his means. See, he wants y'all to think that he's this mogul millionaire, you know what I'm saying? And now that Kim left, he's far from it. You know what I'm saying? No living. Salute to Kim, very intelligent queen, very
Kimberly.
No, living beyond your means is not a crime in California. You know what I'm saying?
So wait a minute. This is the reason why he said the feds came and picked them up, but the feds don't come pick you up if you're living beyond your means. That means you choose to spend all your money and blow your checks on strippers and bars and rat clothing or whatever the case you may do.
Right.
They ain't gonna come pick you up because you doing that, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, he lying.
Yeah, he just was lying. But look, I had one time got on Facebook and I got to Greg Caden. This was July 24. Can you see that, Yael?
Let me see, brother. Yes. Greg, yes, I can see that.
Greg Caden.
May 24th. I see it.
So I said, I am trying to locate the investigative report on your interview of Cash Jones and the audio or video recording thereof. How can I obtain that? He said, I don't think it would be available, Lamonte. He hit me back about an hour and 10 minutes later. I said, I don't think they would destroy evidence of an ongoing investigation. He waived his Miranda rights. So there has to be documentation of that. You know what I'm saying? And any statement pertaining to the investigation, pertinent or non-pertinent, will not be destroyed. So Greg Caden says, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm saying it would be hard to get your hands on it. So for a fact, WACK100, there is an investigative report of Wack, his interview of Cash Jones. There is audio or video recording thereof. How can I obtain that? I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm saying it'll be hard to get your hands on it. I said, well, as a citizen, don't I have a right to access such public records? He said, not necessarily. I said, well, the only way that we, the people, wouldn't have a right to access public records is if those records contain confidential information. Even then, I should be able to get a redacted version. He said, or if it's related to an open homicide case. If I'm talking about Yael's investigative report and his statements to the police and me getting access to it, and he tells me it's going to be hard to get it, and I say, well, we got the right as the people, the public records, and he said, what, shouldn't I be able to get a redacted version, which would, you know, cover up anything and black out anything that's confidential? He said, no, not if it's related to an open homicide case. Okay, so then we go into all of that stuff. So we can get into that later. It's irrelevant. But I was able to get dates to help me build this timeline that I got. Can you see that? Can you see that, Yael?
Yeah, you wrote them down on that paper. Let me see.
No, that's Greg Caden's. You don't see that white finger?
Oh,
Greg
yeah.
Caden's finger.
Because you said you was able to write something down. I'm thinking you just
No,
okay.
I was able to oh yeah, I got my own timeline, but
Oh,
this
okay.
is some of the things that help get it. The date on this is January 10th, a Thursday, 2008. This is a calendar from Greg Caden as related to this case. Worked at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock, Detective Bureau briefing with Chief Brennan. We all know who Brennan is, right? Compton PD, who works under Reggie Wright Sr., right?
Oh my gosh.
Met with C. Metrales and Mark Arenas. Remember the case Mark Arenas and them had? Remember Mark Arenas were the first people who were on the stutter box kidnapping investigation before Detective Coet and Detective Paul Fournier took over the case. When I read the paperwork, and we're going to be reacting to that today, and then you guys will be able to catch up when we react to it. He met with Mihiro Roman, whatever, and Mark Arenas, Del Dog, and bringing the case to, I don't know, basically UE 2000 Rampart. I guess that's where they met at, down at for the briefing at Rampart. This was January 10th, 2008. I guess that's fake also. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, all the paperwork is fake. Everything is, not legitimate because we're saying it because we're not federal informants or FBI agents or flapjackers on the 64th floor or Greg Cadence. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I get it.
Here you go.
So I sent them all of this paper, and he ended up blocking me. And he talked shit about Phil Carson,
right?
And then it was also, I think that was pretty much it with Greg Caden. It was just back and forth arguing, and him trying to
deflect from the situation that you asking them about what CS2 back.
Yes, that's pretty much all it was about. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Evidently, all of the Cash Jones nonsense is meaningful to you. So I wish you were back. That nigga was hot. He called me an idiot. He was mad as a motherfucker because I wouldn't let go. Persistence can irritate somebody, especially when they try to insult your intelligence. So,
and that they try to do that often, and you just always boomerang back with some good shit, man.
So if Stutterbox was an informant, you know what I'm saying, and and they were able to divulge his cooperating as a victim and a witness in the Main Street case,
right?
And Greg agreed to bring Stutterbox paperwork to the 100 side on Clubhouse. Well, Greg Caden, here's a challenge for you and for your confidential source, 237. You can do that for him. We're not really concerned about him, but we appreciate the gesture, and we would love to meet you on that platform and to go over that, but only under the premise that you bring the 302 from Cash Jones, the statements that he made to you.
Right.
Why would he be even making statements about an ongoing murder investigation? I wonder what murder investigation
I'm very sleepy right now. Do you want me to help you pack?
that he gave information on, since they said he can't get it because it's related to an ongoing murder investigation. What murder Oh shit. Greg Caden is the lead detective on the Biggie Smalls murder investigation. Oh, this is some nasty work. And that's ongoing. So they can't let that out. That's why Greg Caden didn't want Stutterbox testifying in that Main Street case no more and sacrificed that. There's a $400 million lawsuit by the Christopher Wallace family estate against the city of Los Angeles and the LAPD. Their primary focus was to make sure they found a theory that would cast enough doubt to get them off of that lawsuit because it would have broken the city. I got Greg Caden saying that was the LAPD's primary focus. Well, you were an employee of the LAPD. You were put in that position after Detective Poole was saying that it was the police had something to do with the assassination of Biggie Smalls, right? It was a professional hit, right? So if Stutterbox gets on the stand and they question him about Cash Jones, now a 137 informant identity can't even be revealed to a judge. So now it's a conflict of interest. I wonder if that's the conflict of interest that Detective Co-Ed Paul Fournier and the task force had with Greg Caden and Darren Dupree. And I wonder if that's why Greg Caden utilized the U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. attorney in federal court to rule in his favor and have him on the stand to expose Stutterbox as an unreliable informant so that they wouldn't have to reveal the identity of their confidential source on their primary case, which is the Biggie Small murder. This is nasty work.
Damo Keyway conversations.
We connecting the dots and we gonna cook. Hold on. Now we gonna get into oh yeah, we gonna get into this. My player partner, he just called me, so I'm gonna mute up and play this and call him back. Greg Caden tries to protect WACK100, but ends up exposing him. Mind you, there's only, and after this, I'm going to break it down for you guys.
Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Today, we're going to let you guys hear what Greg Caden has to say about CS2 back. You're going to hear Greg attempt to shield his confidential source, but you're also going to hear him place Wack directly in the CS2 driver's seat. I'll interject a little throughout the interview, just to point out a few things. Other than that, I'm going to just let it play. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Now, Greg, this isn't about you. This is about Wack. I understand you have to do what you got to do, but if he can bring you on Clubhouse to tell us all that stuff, I feel I should be able to ask some questions so the people can be informed. So again, this has nothing to do with you. This is about Wack.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. No, and again, I'm not trying to get in the middle of whatever bullshit is going on between Wack and whatever bullshit's going on with Starbucks. I don't give a fuck about that beef. Whatever it is, they'll figure it out. I'm just going to tell you investigatively, we would have listed Wack, Cash Jones, in our paperwork. He would have been like target one, and his phone would have been target one. And so when we were looking at him, we used particular language in our paperwork. So if we're writing the wiretap affidavit for his phone, we would say Cash Jones, also known as Wack. You were utilizing target number, whatever, which would be his phone. I think it was some 661 phone number. And that's just the language. Nowhere within the paperwork related to the investigation of Cash Jones, was he ever mentioned as a CS or an informant, because he wasn't.
Okay. Now, Greg, we're talking about the case Stutterbox had against Shaquille O'Neal and the 7 Main Street Crips. When Wack brought you on Clubhouse, he asked you what would he have been referred to as in the paperwork.
And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones, they have this Back name. I don't know who the fuck Back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but I don't know. Maybe it was some coded shit, or how did you
maybe it was
recall referring to me
that's your code name
through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps, so like saying, okay, this is Wack, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your? Because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
If Wack had nothing to do with Del Dog, Shaq, or any of the Main Street Crips, why would his name be being referred to in the paperwork at all?
So again, this is completely different investigation. We have to be real careful that we don't cross over these ideas, because when I said he would have been mentioned in the paperwork, if we're talking about Cash Jones's case, then we may have mentioned a CS, which would have been Stutterbox, saying these things about Cash that we investigated. There's that. Now, if Cash is asking me if his name was in the Main Street case, no, it wasn't. Now, if Cash is asking me if his name was in the Main Street case, no, it wasn't.
So we all know that Greg is not being truthful when he says that. We can clearly see Wack's government name, Cash Jones, all in this case. Hey, Christopher Loves Boys, this shows you why you can't believe everything the police say. This also shows you that the police are protecting Wack.
So this is the paperwork, and he just said that Wack had nothing to do with this case, and the only way you're gonna find, and he finna tell you the only time you hear him is on the wiretap. But here's the paperwork right here, and it definitely has Mark Stevens interrogation by police, a statement where he implicates Cash Jones in the blackmail and extortion attempt of him and Shaquille O'Neal. And then you also have it down here where he receives a call from Cash Jones, Mark Stevens, him being Mark Stevens. And then you got Stutterbox, who implicated Cash Jones as the person sent to pass the message, which would be one overt act as part of the conspiracy. So we're going to get to that also. Let's go.
As they would any other confidential informant that's in good standing with them, unlike Stutterbox. But I want you to hear what Greg says right after he said Wack was not in the Main Street case at all.
There was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case. There was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case, other than when he's trying to get a hold of Mark Stevens and in order to tell him that Box has been compromised.
Yeah, and that's what the wiretap transcript said CS2 back, or Wack, was calling Del Dog to do. Not Del Dog, but Mark Stevens.
See what you just did, though?
Yeah, I said Del Dog.
You said CS2 Wack. It doesn't say that, does it?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it say CS2 back?
Yep.
One of the most important statements in here is you have the head lead of the Joint Task Force, a deputized FBI agent for these investigations, saying, doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? He's arguing, telling Scandalous, the paperwork doesn't say CS2 Wack. It says CS2 back. So I wonder how Duse M and Yael were able to put CS2 back on the wiretap that already says CS2 back. Now we finna pause it right there because we cooking, and since we cooking, man. So WACK100, if you're not familiar, has been claiming that Duse M's forged paperwork and said that the documents that I produced were fraudulent. Let's play this clip real quick. All right, hold on. Let me go to this real quick. Let y'all do. Oh, we cooking. Hit that like button, man. I'm waiting on Yael to show up. I don't know what's going on with him, but we definitely cooking right now. So let's get y'all there.
Everything that was in that video snippet is authentic, and he can prove it. They said, "Oh yeah, well we have the lead investigator.
Appreciate that.
We have clips from
Hit me on IG
2022 to show
Let's
that
work.
was up on YouTube. What your team should have did is investigation. Did you know about this? No, we didn't. Well, it's proof that all this shit done been went over. This is the lead investigator. We pulled the documents, paperwork. They didn't falsify and forge documents and all kind of shit. Now they like, hold on, wait. You mean to tell me we're telling you the lead investigator of this situation went on this very same platform and said this man had nothing to do with nothing. He was a target. Can you send that? Yeah, here you go. This is 2022. You got, well, we would have known about this. We would have, well, that's not our fault that you didn't know about it. Then, you know, so now they're like, well, we'll get back with you. So you got him on the we get back with you ropes. You got him. Eugene Hill, he said everything that was in that video snippet is authentic and he could prove it. They said, oh yeah, well, we have the lead investigator. We have clips from 2022 to show that was up on YouTube. What your team should have did is investigation. Did you know about this? No, we didn't. Well, it's proof.
So that's one. Let's get rid of that one. And we could go to these niggas went and created some fake work and put back in it. Now remember what Greg Caden just said. Doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? This is the deputized lead investigator of the task force, the man who put the task force together. And we'll get to more about that also, because right now, while we're talking about WACK100, which is he's on the Suge side in the investigation of Biggie Smalls murder, in which he gave them Poochie's name. That's what he doesn't want to come out. But one of the things he don't want to come out. But let's listen to this.
These niggas went and created some fake work and add some back shit. Nigga, if you don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about that shit. These niggas went and created some fake work, and add some. These niggas went and created some fake work and add some back shit. Nigga,
if you don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about that shit. But Greg Caden just validated that the paperwork, well, doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? That's what the paperwork say, right, Greg? Let's back up a couple seconds. There it go. Let's go.
Boxes been compromised.
Yeah, and that's what the wiretap transcript said CS2 back, or Wack, was calling Del Dog to do.
Facts.
Not Del Dog, but Mark Stevens.
See what you just did, though?
Yeah, I said Del Dog.
You said CS2 Wack. It doesn't say that, does it?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it say CS2 back?
Yep.
One of the most important statements in here is you have the head lead of the Joint Task Force, a deputized FBI agent for these investigations, saying, doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? He's arguing, telling scandalous, the paperwork doesn't say CS2 Wack. It says CS2 back. So I wonder how Duse M and Yael were able to put CS2 back on the wiretap that already says CS2 back. So when you hear WACK100, and we'll get to that later, you know, deflecting and making up, first undermining the journalistic work that we do here at the Damu Kiwe Conversations podcast, right? The standard and reputation that we hold ourselves to at the Damu and Kiwe Conversations by blatantly, falsely accusing us of altering paperwork to add CS2 back. Let's make sure that Greg Caden says it again. Doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? Listen.
Wack, or Wack, was calling Del Dog to do. Not Del Dog, but Mark Stevens.
See what you just did, though?
Yeah, I said Del Dog.
You said CS2 Wack. It doesn't say.
Come on, man.
That does it?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it say CS2 back?
Yes, it says CS2 back.
Okay, well, do you know what you just said?
So now he wants to play semantics or whatever, but Scandalous Los Angeles says the paperwork says CS2 back. After Greg Caden said, well, doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back? And he said, yeah, the paper says CS2 back. He said, but that's not what you said. You said CS2 Wack. Okay, forget that he said CS2 Wack. The point is the authentication of the wiretap, that the lead detective on the wiretap who was listening to WACK100 in them has paperwork that says that it says CS2 back. We didn't add that. So now we know there's 4 people that's talked about on this wiretap. Just the pages that we showed, the 3 pages. You got CS2 back, who calls Mark Stevens, tells Mark Stevens that box went sour, and the phones is compromised. You got Mark Stevens, who answers that call and was calling Del Dog because CS2 back wanted to talk to Del Dog. And you got Stutterbox, who was mentioned as somebody who went bad. CS2 is saying Stutterbox went bad. So if Stutterbox went bad, we know that Stutterbox is in CS2 back. Boom! We could take that finger away, right? Bam! Mark Stevens, this is CS2 back calling Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens gets the call from CS2 back saying that box went sour and the phones is compromised. And he's calling Del Dog. So we know that that's not CS2 back. Mark Stevens is not CS2 back. CS2 back is trying to get in contact with Del Dog. So we know that Del Dog is not CS2 back. CS2 back, aka the Wack boy. And we're going to let you know, even though he initially denied that was him on that call, we're going to let you know who CS2 back is right here, because Greg Caden affirms it.
What did I say?
CS2 Wack.
I meant CS2 back.
Because in your mind, and bear with me, no offense here, but I think you've already come to the conclusion that Wack is Wack, and that's why that's such an easy mistake to make.
Well, the reason I think Wack is CS2 back is because that's who Mark Stevens said he was talking to.
Nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing that Mark Stevens is saying that Wack is who he was talking to.
But he's saying...
So he ain't saying that Mark Stevens is lying, that he was talking to Wack on that wiretap.
That that's back. He is saying that back is Wack.
How does Mark Stevens put that together? Show me how Mark Stevens has anything to substantiate that back is Wack.
In the paperwork they put him as back, BACK. And I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no back. And they said, nah, that's Wack. But they put him as back because he a blood. So it's
that was Mark Stevens,
okay.
not Stutterbox.
That also refers as confidential source.
And just because Mark Stevens' lawyer assumed that the reason the police used the name Back instead of Wack was probably because he was a blood, doesn't negate the fact that they knew that that person on that call was Wack. That's what you finna see Greg Caden try to deflect from the original topic and go into undermining that. You said that was Wack on the call. You don't dispute that. Now let's go.
Number 2, Yes, sir.
Okay, so no offense
Hold on.
to Mark.
Mark Stevens.
Okay.
Was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no offense to Mark. He doesn't know any better. But when we're writing official police reports, we don't play the game. We don't change language or change spelling because we are, part of the gang culture. We're not going to put Wack. We're going to put Back because he's a blood, not a crip, and we don't. That's not how we operate. We don't. That's gang shit. We don't write as gangsters. We write as police officers and try to be as specific as possible.
Greg is saying they try to be as specific as possible, and that they don't do things like that. But we're all looking at a wiretap transcript where they did exactly that. They put a person named Back in the paperwork, and no one knows who Back is.
We don't change things in order to. So if Mark Stevens is thinking that, oh man, the cops just put this in there this way because he's a blood and not a crip, it's not how it works.
I hear you, Greg. But even without them doing that, the conversation with Mark Stevens and Del Dog did actually take place. And Mark Stevens is saying the person who called him looking for Del Dog's phone number was Wack. Mark said he doesn't know anyone named Back. So why would they put some fake person that Mark has never ever talked to in the transcripts?
No, I get that. See, we are totally in agreement. The conversation is Wack, obviously. The conversation is Wack, obviously. But this explanation of Wack being Back, there's nothing to substantiate that other than...
Fuck the explanation that Mark Stevens' lawyers had gave him saying they knew that Back was Wack. Fuck that Back was Wack. The bottom line is what you just said right now.
Obviously. But
Put some fake person that Mark has never ever talked to in the transcripts.
No, I get that. See, we are totally in agreement. The conversation is Wack, obviously. The conversation is Wack, obviously.
The conversation is Wack, obviously. So now we know that this paperwork that you're looking at says CS2 Back. Greg Kading confirmed that this wiretap says confidential source to Back, aka the Wack boy. And that's who they're talking about, and that's who made the call to Mark Stevens. Now, what we just got confirmation from is it's obviously Wack.
We're totally in agreement. The conversation is Wack, obviously. The conversation is Wack, obviously. But this explanation of Wack being Back,
we don't even need no more of that. Those were the two things I sought, I came, I sought, I conquered. Shout out to my player partner, Scandalous, Los Angeles TV. Oh, he flamed his ass up, right? So now, we do know that the paperwork is authentic, as verified, that it says CS2 Back on that paperwork. So good try, CS2 Back. I hope World Star Hip Hop is listening. Media Lab, shout out Media Labs LA. I need my bag though, but shout them out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all might be able to want to utilize this in court. Matter of fact, I thought this was cooking. I'm gonna reach out to their attorney. Y'all ain't seen shit. Make sure we can dialogue. Like, button. We going up. I'm finna get my CS2 Back is authenticated and authenticated paperwork by they never reveal they informants that the Duse M sharp as porcupine quill. Greg Kading again confirms that on that call it's obviously Wack. It's obviously Wack. So Wack is CS2 Back. The same I told you. the same thing that Mark Stevens told me, the same thing that Stutterbox told me. And we're going to get into them documentaries and refresh your memories a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? This now is being validated and verified by Greg Kading. He cannot contest that. He want to contest, well, how did they come up with it? Who cares how he came up with it? He knows that who he was talking to on the phone was Wack. You verify that, right? Okay. He knows that CS2 Back is the person calling. You verified that the paperwork is authentic, and it says that that's the person that's calling. What the fuck is we talking about? There's nothing else to debate. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing else to debate on that matter. You know, there's still the matter of the Texas gun case and how long he's been working, and just showing you how much of a liar this guy is. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you guys this real quick, right? And we finna start breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start breaking it down. So
get
you got Mark Stevens and Robert Ross, who told the sheriffs that Cash Jones.
Turn his TV off. Turn his TV
his real
off.
name, Cash Jones, was the one who brought the message that Stutterbox has a sex tape of Shaq with another bitch, and TMZ would pay a lot of money for, right? He brought that message to Shaq and Mark Stevens in an attempt to blackmail and extort him. To convict the suspect of conspiracy, the prosecution must prove the following elements. Agreement. There was an agreement between two or more people to commit a crime. Okay. Here you have Stutterbox and WACK100 agreeing to extort and blackmail Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens about an alleged sex tape that they claim to have. Intent. That the defendant intended to join the agreement and commit the crime. So they didn't just talk about it. The defendant intended to join the agreement and crime. How do you know that? Because there was at least one overt act, which means at least one of the conspirators, Wack or Robert Ross, committed an act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Going to tell Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal about this sex tape and threatening that TMZ would pay a nice little penny for it is conspiracy to extort, conspiracy to blackmail. These are crimes that they have proof of and corroborating evidence when we talk about Cash McElroy Jones. You know what I'm saying? This is nasty work. I don't know how he thought he was going to get around this one. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh. So, now, let's get into this real quick, right? Let's get into this real quick. Boom. Hit that like button. Share. We in this motherfucker cooking. I think it's damn. We already cooked. What you call it? Bear with us real quick. Oh yeah, here it go right here. Boom. I got you, y'all. Let me put this on here. If you don't get you some Wi-Fi, brother, let's get this started. Now we done broke that down and proved that WACK100 is CS2 back. Prove that the elements of a conspiracy to extort or a conspiracy to blackmail. And after we finish this video, I'll pull up the law on blackmailing and extortion
Man, how do you get a wellness check?
This is Robert
Man, this
Ross.
shit is funny, homie. How do you get a wellness check and then you got 2 police on Clubhouse? The police that sent me to prison, homie, and a whole lot of other homies. Wack, man, the lies you tell, homie, is if anybody know paperwork or the streets or how this shit go, they know you lying. My fault is not keeping it in the streets after they try to kill my wife and threaten to kidnap my.
So he's admitting that he didn't keep it in the street when they threatened to knock down his wife and his other family members. You said that's why you didn't keep it in the street, but what you wasn't telling us that you was already working, nigga. You was already an informant. Let's go.
My nieces and nephews, I should have kept it in the streets, but I made a conscious decision to put some protection on my family. So if that make me a snitch, I eat that, but I should have kept it in the streets. That's how they was able to intervene on my life. I didn't know I was under investigation for the Biggie Smalls murder, homie.
Here we go again. The investigation of Biggie Smalls murder. Let's go.
So doing the inside shit with my neighborhood, they catch the whack nigga on a wiretap plotting. So I'm thinking they getting at us about another plot on my family life. But they kick whack name to me. So I guess the police who had me under surveillance for the Biggie Smalls murder heard on the wiretap what happened or what was going on. It must have got at the police saying the guy who was almost killed and his wife was almost killed or whatever. He's our suspect in the Biggie Smalls murder. So they came and hollered at me. I'm thinking it was about a threat on my family life, about that case. I didn't even know I was under investigation for the Biggie Smalls murder. So when they got at me and told me you crossed me with dog, I heard it. I still told him, okay, he did that. But the nigga don't break the law with that truck. That nigga pack a lunch and go to work every day. How do a nigga driving a Rolls Royce tell on a nigga who packing a lunch and going to work? But you flipping it, whack. You know, you flipping it like you flip it on everybody else you fuck with, homie. You flip it. That's how they came into my life. He wrote a book and made a movie, so you're gonna flip it and twist it and make it look to your favor. But if anybody know how this shit go, man, it's common sense. But on your part, nigga, you the police. How you got a police on speed dial? You got a wellness check. You recording the feds. Man, check this out, man. I'ma stay out here and stay ready. But boy, a nigga know who you is and what's up with you. So however it happen, it's gonna happen. You feel me? But you need to keep Jim Jones' name out your mouth, boy, because you ain't got no room to talk.
Hey, man, I'm going to leave it right here, man. Stutterbox has spoken, has responded. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do y'all feel about this, man? Is the paperwork, or...
So that's Stutterbox, who was the victim, a witness in the kidnapping case of himself against the mainstream.
Work is the work.
He also implicated WACK100 in the conspiracy to extort, the conspiracy to blackmail. And let's talk about the Hobbs Act real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because the Hobbs Act carries anywhere from 20 years in prison. The Hobbs Act allows up to 20 years in prison for extortion alone. A federal statute for blackmail is 18 U.S.C. subsection 873. Blackmail is also a crime in every state. Blackmail is a federal crime that involves forcing someone to give money, property, or services. That's blackmail, right? Now let's see what's the difference between blackmail and extortion. Blackmail is a type of extortion that involves threatening to expose damaging information, while extortion involves using threats of violence or property damage. So this is what he did with Kim K, the second Kim K tape, him and Ray J. This is what he did. Up to 20 years. Oh, he was facing some time. Now you hear him talking about some conspiracy to murder, and we're going to get into that. But real quick, before, we'll get into that, and then we'll go back to that. Let's go. We got this clip real quick. Now, remember, he didn't have nothing to do with the Main Street Crips, but he hid out, allegedly, hid out Del Dog Killer. This is nasty work. He's admitting to being an aided and abettor in a conspiracy to murder. This shit is crazy.
And Darren Dupree or some shit.
Yeah.
When we coming outside.
So he's talking about Greg Caden and Darren Dupree when he's coming out of the building, 64th floor, which means he sat down with them people.
And Darren Dupree or some shit.
Yeah.
When we coming outside on the stairway, me and my attorney, they stop us. They say, look, man, we can't afford this harassment lawsuit you file. You know, I'm beyond the gated community. I'm claiming I'm embarrassed. I got to move my family. My wife is traumatized. You kick my dough in. I'm putting extras on it, right?
Right.
They said, listen, man. They advised my attorney. My attorney said, look, dude said, drop the case and they owe you one. If you don't drop it, right, then you know what come with that. My attorney's talking to me. He know my personal business and say, you know how you are every day. So you don't really need that in your mix. So I said, well, listen, I don't need no motherfuckers hemming me up every day. We figured out as we figured out. I leave it like that. Exactly. About 6 months go by, I look at the media, I see that guy Shaq tied up. They're making accusations that Shaquille O'Neal and Darren Dupree or some shit.
Yeah.
When we coming outside on the stairway, me and my attorney, they stop us.
So
dude said, drop the case and they owe you one. If you don't drop it,
owe you one,
right, then you know what come with that.
Deputized FBI agents owe you one. Imagine that.
My attorney's talking to me. He know my personal business and say, you know how you are every day. So you don't really need that in your mix.
Smash them lights.
So I said, well, listen, I don't need no motherfuckers hemming me up every day. We figured out as we figured out. I leave it like that. About 6 months go by, I look at the media, I see that guy Shaq tied up. They're making accusations that Shaq paid the Main Street.
So about 6 months after they raided his house and he went to the 64th floor, this is his timeline. After they tell him 6 months after they tell him he owe him one, now they're on Shaq and Mark Stevens and these Crips. Nasty work.
3 Crips to go kidnap this dude, Stutterbox. It wasn't in LA Lobby, it was on Sunset Boulevard. Right? So they tied Shaq into it. Shaq had did videos with the Main Streets because Box was his dude. They using all this shit against him, saying he's tied into the gang culture and all this shit, blase, blase, blase. Right? I call my man Money Mark. Right? Money Mark is Shaquille's right-hand man, his business partner. I said, yo, Mark, check it out. Call my attorney. Tell my attorney, I said, put you online with that federal officer. Have your attorney call that federal officer to the stand. But first tell him to call Box to the stand. You want him to do one thing and one thing only. Ask Box if he's a federal informant, documented. Everybody from LA is in the courtroom, he's gonna lie. Trust me, I know he was gonna lie. When that happens, I'm giving you a jewel because Shaq looked out for me, right? I don't need this favor, so I'm passing it to you. Have your attorney call this Greg Cadence in, have him take a stand.
You're finna hear what
and
they
then
got.
let him tell the judge and present
Hey,
the documents he had, the fingerprints, all the paperwork, the payments they've been paying this dude every month to show that this dude is a federal informant. At that point in time,
possibly
perjured yourself on the stand, whatever allegations against Shaq and anybody else tied to the case, they got to kick it out. I lay back. Money Mark calls my attorney. My attorney called me. I said, yeah, give him that information. That favor they owe me, let them use it. He need it. I don't need it. Because they got Shaq in the trick bag. You can go to Google. That shit is still on Google. They do all that shit enough to get up there, box under oath, denies it, all this. They call Greg Cadence in the motherfucker. Greg Cadence come in with his file, hands it to the judge. The judge open it up. I guess, I don't know, it's some type of contract you sign when you signing up for these type of things, formal programs or whatever. Judge looks at it, calls, make sure it's authentic, throws the case out. Not only does Shaq walk, but all the Main Street Crips walk too that day out of court. That's how that happened.
All right then. Damn, Wack, you the one that saved Shaq then.
I saved
I'm about to say
and
that.
all the Main Streets. It's real shit.
Okay, all of that is absolute bullshit, except for the fact we met him at his lawyer's office. We sat down. We said, "Here's the deal, man. We've had this case against you. We came up empty-handed. Sorry that you got caught in the middle of this. Somebody put your name out there. We didn't know any better, so we followed. We gave fucking Stutterbox the benefit of the doubt."
Now, are you guys slow or are you slow? So not only did Wack go talk to this task force on the 64th floor, which he admitted to, we knew nothing about the 64th floor where he saw FBI flap jackets everywhere. That's what led us up to it, him saying that. But you just heard Greg Cadence say that they met him at his attorney's office. So that's not one, that's 2 times that he has met with this federal joint task force to talk. That's a whole lot of singing for you not to have a 360 deal, my nigga. I'm just saying, hey, listen, I count 2 times. Once on Wilshire on the 64th floor, which he admitted, and now at his lawyer's office. Let's rewind that just to make sure that we heard that correctly. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to mishear things. You know
federal informant. At that point in time, Fox has perjured yourself on the stand. Whatever allegations against Shaq and anybody else tied to the case, they got to kick it out. I lay back. Money Mark calls my attorney. My attorney called me. I said, yeah, give him that information. That favor they owe me, let them use it. He need it. I don't need it. Because they got Shaq in the trick bag. You can go to Google. That shit is still on Google. They do all that. Sure enough, he get up there, box under oath, denies it, all this. They call Greg Cadence in the motherfucker. Greg Cadence come in with his file, hands it to the judge. The judge open it up. I guess, I don't know, it's some type of contract you sign when you signing up for these type of things, formal programs or whatever. Judge looks at it, calls, make sure it's authentic, throws the case out. Not only does Shaq walk, but all the Main Street Crips walk too that day out of court. That's how that happened.
All right then. Damn, Wack, you the one that saved Shaq then.
I saved
I'm about to say
and
that.
all the Main Streets. It's real shit.
Okay, all of that is absolute bullshit, except for the fact we met him at his lawyer's office. We sat down. We said, "Here's the deal, man. We've had this case against you. We came up empty-handed. Sorry that you got caught in the middle of this. Somebody put your name out there. We didn't know any better, so we followed. We gave fucking Stutterbox the benefit of the doubt. Here we are. Was there an apology? I don't know. It's my style to kind of apologize. Sorry you had to fucking go through this. But nonetheless, it is what it is. The idea of suing us, fucking bullshit. Of us having an agreement like we owe you one, bullshit. The idea of him having anything to do with the trial of when Stutterbox went to testify, and the thing fell apart. Cash had absolutely nothing to do with any of that. So he's just taking all of these pieces of information and putting them together like he was the puppet master. It's all absolute bullshit.
Absolute bullshit. So we're going to close this one and get to it. So now you see that he was lying about the police coming out there. The lawsuit he said he filed, lie.
You know what else he lied about?
If he want to prove that he filed that lawsuit, go give us the case number so we can pull the paperwork up and show that Greg Caden is lying on you. That you actually did file a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like you say you did. Go ahead, bro. What you finna say?
You want to know what else he lied about? He said, hey, they told me that I owe you one. He just said the idea of us owing you one, bullshit.
Right.
Nah, nigga, they don't owe you nothing.
Well, maybe Wack ain't lying about that. Maybe Greg Caden just didn't know that Darren Dupree told him I owe you one. You know what I'm saying?
You are correct.
You know, maybe Darren Dupree, Greg Caden was close to retiring, had smut on his name and all kind of shit. So let's see what CS2 Back is talking about right here. Boom, let's go.
The white cop, Greg Caden. The worst thing you could do, bro, listen, if you want to be Wack, just have your shit. And the closest thing you're going to get to a victory.
Go into that. Let's cut that off. We're cutting that off. Let's go to, we finna really get to cutting. Stutterbox respond to Wack. We already did that one. Let's get to some of these clips. And these clips is finna cut deep. Not these first couple, but the ones right after. Oh, y'all gonna love this. Let's break this lying bitch down. Let's go. Stutterbox is gonna incriminate this man.
I had to do with the case, bro. Like, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog.
In the paperwork.
Your call. I sent it to you. And he
I
said
talked to Dog.
But he said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call. But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and Dog said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you in the paperwork. That's what Duse M is going off of. What
that whole Main
That's
Street
what
shit,
Duse M is
that
going
was your
off
play.
of.
I had nothing to do with it. I was a victim.
Because they said when Dog called you, his phone was hit. That's how they got on your line.
Good point, 421.
No.
And you play. That's what they say.
421 TV. Tap into my Instagram, Active Shots. Let's work. Oh, my bad.
By now in this first part, Stutterbox clearly implicates WACK100 into this case, not only in an interview with Duse M's and Stats 280, but also right to Wack's face on the recorded phone call. In part 2 of this video, let's take a look at the actual paperwork from the case, which exposes WACK100 as a confidential source in the Main Street Mafia Crips case. For this breakdown of the paperwork,
So we'll get up off of that one. And now we're gonna show you some more shit. This was us interviewing Stutterbox. Let's give a little clout to Zesty 100, who used to be known as Stats 280, the Pink Panther. I'm saying he on that dick. He really came out the closet and shit. And he really hates Yael and me now because he felt like he should have been here with us. But I cut his water off because he come to find out he ain't even really from Grape Street. So he was on the internet false flagging. He ain't even from 280. I talked to the Grape Street Crips out there. They don't know the dude. And he feels like Yael took his spot. And he said, Yael, this nigga said Damu Kiwe conversation started from the UOD. Wait a minute.
Man, that nigga is
real quick
delusional.
Delusional, bro. He's obsessed. That shit is so rainbow, right? So I left the UOD. You remember when I left the UOD because you left with me.
Right.
Big Messy left with me, right?
Right.
What room we used to be hanging in after the UOD? Well, before, during the UOD.
It was real Damu love.
So I told you, damn, You be up in here. Spider-Lo be up in here. Bomani be up in here. Brick Baby be up in here. ODM Slim be up in here. And it's called Real Damu Love. I want to make it more comfortable for the Crips. I'm going to change the name to Damu and Keyway Conversations. You was like, nah, M, you ain't got to do that. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. My mind's already made up. You were the first person and the only person I told that until I had already did it. So UOD had nothing to do with it. But here you go. This is when, before he got back on his knees, sucking CS2 Back's eggplant. Let's go. On audio of WACK100 that the feds had, but haven't charged him for conspiring to murder.
He allegedly gave Dog my address, homie. And I told you that they was in front of my house. So somebody gave him that address. If I get killed, whoever gave him the address gonna get conspiracy to murder. But if I don't get killed, they just get conspiracy to attempted murder because they shot up my Rolls Royce, put 17 holes in my Rolls Royce. Whoever passed the baton. So it's a question mark there, homie. You know, we from the streets. We know that.
Right.
Stutter box. So how about this? When have you had any conversations with Mark Stevens after all this happened?
Nothing. Yeah. Mark, my Muslim brother, homie.
Okay. Okay.
I love the brother. I talked to him probably last week.
We glad that we got that cleared up because it shows. All right, so that was enough right there. So he's saying that those dudes did pull up in front of his house, right? And that they didn't nobody have his address. None of his homies had his address. So he know it was Wack. And that's what the feds told him. And that's probably when he twisted on Wack, right? And flipped on Wack, giving them information on Wack. Because they telling him that Wack then gave the boogeyman his number. Let's get into, his address. Let's get into this real quick. If y'all pay attention on this, you will be hearing Wack talk about why he was in charge as an ex-felon in possession of a gun. Let's go.
You got my name and I'm talking. I don't talk. That's their job, nigga.
We got proof of talk.
I told him, like, I said, you want to get yourself in a trick bag like Lamonte, putting that fake work out. But this is what's crazy. That's a real dismissal. What's wrong with the dismissal? I don't even know.
I told him that earlier. That was me earlier, bro.
Bro, that's a real dismissal.
I heard you early.
That nigga, I put that up on my Instagram years ago. That is a real dismissal. He said it. I said, where it say immunity at? What you talking about, nigga? What the fuck are you talking about? Them niggas. The Tupac, whoop-de-whoop, bro. I've never met Tupac. Tupac was out of 11 years. I was in the penitentiary, bro.
That nigga had me dying laughing.
Yeah, I'm like, nigga, like,
got mad at me when I told him Tupac died at 25. And that was all them years, almost 28 years ago. I said, do the math. What y'all saying?
I said, bro, I said, that's what I told him. I said, bro, I've never met Tupac. I'm pretty sure my square-ass girlfriend at the time never met the nigga either. So I don't know we've been together since we've been 14, my nigga. I don't know where that come from, but I know y'all trying to tie me into death row. I keep telling people I was in prison. I didn't come home till 99. My dealings with death row didn't come till after all them niggas was gone, but they try to mix it up, throw it in there. Nah, bro.
They trying to tie you in with Wack Deuce.
Yeah, but that ain't me.
Yeah,
Wack Deuce will tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Wack.
Talk to that nigga.
Home instead for a better what's next.
Let's get back to the content. Damn, this shit Roman. God damn. What's up with my damn Wi-Fi, man? The access is on. Let's go. Jamu Kiwi. Conversations. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Let's more. Do this up a little bit. Oh, his old ass done went to sleep.
Tell these people, Wack, that Stutterbox case has something to do with a crib, and that it was your truck that they came and get the straight stunting magazines, because them niggas try to argue that when I said I was talking.
That's me. That's the nigga. The nigga went and told the motherfucking people that I'm moving dope in my diesels from Tijuana to Seattle.
Definitely getting paid.
That whole scene is me. If you go right now, the ladies know what's that little site y'all read. You can read the books on the phone.
Kindle.
Go right now to Kindle right now. Go to the book Murder Rap. The author is Greg Cadence. Turn to the chapter called Stutterbox. You're going to see my name, Kaz Jones, pictures of me, pictures of Suge, and a whole description of them saying Stutterbox came to us and gave us this man's name. We didn't know who he was. He said he was transporting drugs for Suge Knight and his diesels. We investigated him for 9 months, spent over $300,000, only to come up empty-handed to learn that the man runs a string of small legal businesses.
And Wack, that's what I told him. I said, and if you want to watch the shit is on Netflix. Unsolved.
It's on Netflix.
It's episode 5.
But you can go read that shit your motherfucking self. Now watch this, right? So these are the head detectives of that mainstream, all that shit, right? The man is saying that Wack was a person of interest because a motherfucker brought us his name. He's not saying Wack was part of the Main Street ring. I got Main Street told him, dude moving drugs on his diesel. If y'all want to get Suge, get him and then he can give you Suge. This nigga just told him, I guess I call it a lie snitch. These niggas had tracking devices. They gonna tell you. Mr. Jones found a tracking device. I was on his truck when he was at a truck stop. They gonna break it all down. Pictures of me at my 30th birthday party. Suge there, everybody there. They got all the pictures in there and said it was after spending $300,000-$400,000 and all this shit. Only thing we came up with is he want to string a small legal business. That's it. So when you see that, it lets you know, nigga, I was never arrested ever in my life or whatever them niggas had going on. One of them niggas tried to get me booked. The only thing saved me if I was legal.
And Wack, that's what I was telling them. I said, the nigga Stutterbox was telling on Shaq.
That nigga told on everybody. We didn't know the nigga was an informant. Nobody knew, bro. This nigga out here doing...
Back this up a little. Let's go.
But then he can give you Suge. This nigga just told him, I guess I call it a lie snitch. These niggas had tracking devices. They gonna tell you. Mr. Jones found a tracking device. I was on his truck when he was at a truck stop. They gonna break it all down. Pictures of me at my 30th birthday party. Suge there, everybody there. They got all the pictures in there and said it was after spending $300,000-$400,000 and all this shit. Only thing we came up with is he want to string a small legal business. That's it. So when you see that, it lets you know, nigga, I was never arrested ever in my life or whatever them niggas had going on. One of them niggas tried to get me booked. The only thing saved me if I was legal.
And Wack, that's what I was telling them. I said, the nigga Stutterbox was telling on Shaq.
I'm with
that nigga told on everybody. We didn't know the nigga was an informant. Nobody knew, bro. This nigga out here doing everything under the nigga. Nobody knew, nigga. That nigga's one of the loudest niggas in the streets of LA. He riding Phantoms, Rolls Royces, rag Bentleys, Range Rovers, juried up, dumping out, all at the club popping by. Nigga, popping niggas, all kind of shit. Nobody never knew that the nigga was a fucking informant. Nobody never knew until all this shit. Well, you can go pull the book up.
That's what I'm saying, Wack. Hey, that's what I'm saying, Wack. Hey,
it's the same book
that exposed Keefy D being a rat for the first time. This what we found out that Keefy D was a rat in this book, because this is the head detective. When he retired, he exposed everybody that was informing.
Yep.
And who they was informing against.
Sure.
Now, you got to remember, this nigga Stutterbox at the time lived across the street from me. If I walk out of my driveway and walk across the street, I walk in his driveway. Our kids went to school together. So he ain't got a clue that this nigga looking at me trying to figure out what I'm doing. So I'm like, my nigga, what you trying to figure out what I'm doing? Back then, I had a little 500 Benz, an Escalade. I had a bikes, low riders and shit. I was all right, but I wasn't. Nigga, you got Rolls Royces, motherfucking Rack, Bentleys. You trying to figure out what I'm doing. Nigga, you up. I'm coming up. Cause you talking about? He told the motherfuckers that I got family that drive trucks. They don't make enough money to be over here where I'm at. Nigga, I own my company. Nigga, I don't drive for nobody. Nigga, I own I'm not hauling fucking toilet paper. I got BMW, Porsche, Audi, all that type of shit. I'm not motherfucking getting paid 30 cents per mile. Nigga, every truck I had a $400,000 contract. I had my own personal, a fleet of 4 up under me. I made a third off the other 4 and kept 66% of my own. Like, nigga. Then I had real estate and loan companies and shit like that. Nigga, this nigga really thought I was moving work. That nigga really believed it. Like, beyond my means. He said, listen, it's all the documents right there. So if I'm a person of interest, because a Main Street told him to watch me, then how the fuck am I part of the Main Street's goddamn indictment, nigga? The man said after 9 months of investigation and a raid of his home, it came to find out that all he did was run a string of small businesses. We found a firearm in the home. So then somebody said, well, Wack, how you beat the firearm? It was my wife's firearm. It was a legal firearm. Yeah, but Wack, you an ex-con. I said, yeah, I know I'm an ex-con. You ain't supposed to be around guns. I said, yeah, I know, but I'm also not a California resident, so that ain't my residence. Nigga, I'm not, if you ain't figured out by now, I'm not a dummy. Nigga, I've been a resident of the state of Oklahoma since 2003. Still one right now today.
So, first and foremost, under squatting law, all you got to do is have mail of a bill going to a house, and there's certain rights under California law that you're afforded. Even more than that, he's trying to argue that him not being a resident of California, that this is how he was not charged as an felon in possession of a firearm. Well, let's get into the law real quick. So you know he lying about that pistol, and it was more than one pistol. I'm quite sure you were protecting your family with more than just your wife's old what you call it. But look, they know that you left that night, and we'll get into that and prove that later, right? They know that you left that night. I mean that morning to a shipment with your diesel, because they had the biggest shipment, company call in the biggest shipment so that they know that they could get you away from your house, because Stutterbox told them that
I
it was
believe
like
so too,
Fort Knox up in that motherfucker.
Yeah,
big guns.
it's a
You
front,
know,
that's
all
what
the
I think.
guns you say you sell to the Crips and shit. So we quite sure that it wasn't one. In fact, Big U said you told them it was 6 guns that they found. But let's just stick to the one. So you're saying because that's not your permanent loan. Well, let's get into what makes a person's legal residence, right? A home to which that person intends to return and remain, even though currently residing elsewhere. You can live anywhere, but you're going to return and remain here. It is the place where a person has been physically present. He had left that morning, and that the person regards his home. A person has a settled connection with their legal residence for legal purposes, either because that place is home or because the law has designated that place. For example, a person's legal residence can be their permanent home, the place where they were born, or the place where they have established a marital home with their spouse. Remember, he kept saying they had my wife handcuffed. Well, they wouldn't handcuff her unless they knew that that was her legal residence And on top of that, if that was your wife, your spouse, and this is where you guys sleep and you guys own the house, you're responsible and part owner of that house. Your name is on that mortgage, even if it's just her name. Because everything that y'all get together, unless you got a prenup, she's entitled to 50%. And you're entitled to 50%. So, where you habitat with your spouse, this is the house that your wife live in, your kids live in. This is your home. So I don't care what's on your ID. You get mail there. So you were able to bluff deputized FBI agents, LAPD law enforcement, sheriffs by convincing them, well, I don't live there, so you can't put that gun on me. I live in Oklahoma. Stop it, bro. The law is very clear. You and your spouse, live at that house. Better late than never. We got the Keyway pop star in the building.
And don't do that. Don't do that. You sent me a live, and I'm like, where the hell is it? Kept saying stream ended, stream ended, stream ended. I'm like, dude,
no, bro. I went through some shit we did. Remember, we released the shit that we did. They took it down. I don't know if it was CS2 back, what it was. It went up, and people were down there, about 140 people. And then it went down, bro. I'm talking about we couldn't see nothing black. Ask everybody in the chat. Then I remade it. It took an hour and a half, but before they uploaded it and they premiered it. So I'm watching it and in the chat doing that. And I'm telling you, we finna go live. I sent the link to the team. They supposed to send it to you. They told me they sent it, and you ain't came, my nigga. So we politicking, and we gonna have this meeting offline, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Gumby said this is a decent channel, 100. I'm going to subscribe to y'all one day. Everything going to come out, and we all going to talk about it. Gumby, is you not listening to what's going on? Before you leave, brother, before you leave, pay attention, because we ain't even finished with the death blow. Pay attention, bro. First and foremost, they are human. They do make mistakes. But they're going to make sure that they cross their T's and dot their I's before they get you. They're not in a rush. When they come, it's because they already got you. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10. So we're not biting on that one. We're going to close that off. Now let me get into these clips. I'm going to give y'all 2 clips. And after we finish these 2 clips, I was the jailhouse lawyer. That's crazy. They done closed my thing, but it's all right. After I give you these 2 clips and we build on that, I'm going to close this and we'll do the rest of the clips live. I'm going to put them in order so that we narrate the story properly for all of our peeps. You know what I'm saying? And let's get over here.
Hey, Deuce.
And
yeah. Can you send me can you share this live with us so I can share it to my homeboy?
WACK100 goes.
I don't know how to do it from here like
this.
this.
All right, I got you right now.
Thank you, brother.
Talks with the feds. Y'all want to know what he said? Y'all want to know what they said? And they were recorded, which means that he's speaking with them. Well, Wack, and that he's waived his Miranda rights. So Wack, when Greg Kading accepts the challenge, we want the paper to show that you waived your Miranda rights. We want the audio tape because you're going to talk about how they stopped recording to tell you that Stutterbox gave you up, right? So that means that you were talking with him with your lawyer and you made a statement and they were recording. So let's get to I think I gotta I gotta hit the link first. Hold on. Let me hit the link first. All right, so there we go. We only had Biggie one though. We'll get to the Pac thing. Stay tuned. I love to hear your what you thought. 5 years off the back, felon in the possession of the 5 years off the back for felon in possession of the gun. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Oh, he working. I'm from Kansas. Luke, same rule. All right, DeGante, we never knew you was from Kansas. Chiefs Kingdom, I hope you from Kansas City, Missouri. Chiefs Kingdom. All right, so this is a 1 minute clip. Let's get into this. This is Wack talking about the second thing
they had against me. They press play, wiretap. This is why I know when I hear.
So they press play on them, and they're playing the second thing. So let's paint a picture. Yael, I know you never been in this situation because you're going to keep your mouth closed. But look, check this out. You with me? Yeah. You with me? Sound good,
Damo Keyway. Conversation. Oh, I heard you the first time. I thought I hit you.
So let me tell you how this goes. So he's at the 64th floor or whatever floor he said he went up to, right?
Right.
When he gets in there, you got Darren Dupree, you got Greg Caden, and some federal officer. It could be DEA, FBI, ATF, whichever ones that's working with them and getting the leverage that they needed to get on them so they could flip them and get the information they want, right? So they done raided his house. February, was it April? I think. Let me look at the thing to make sure that my date is correct on the day that they raided CS2 Black House. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, we got it on things. So on April 25th, 2008, the search warrant was served on Cass Jones' home and his truck, right?
Right.
On April 27, 2008, Cass Jones proffer a meeting at FBI headquarters on Wilshire on the 60th floor. He said they were on the 60th floor. But remember, he didn't say it was a session. He didn't say that he talked to them. He said he went to go pick up his property. Well, how did you go pick up property that was taken from your home that you claim you are not a resident in? That you claim you live in Oklahoma. So why are you picking? So I already knew something was fishy about that explanation anyway, you know?
Right.
But now here we are. You're on the 60th floor. You brought your attorney with you to pick up your property. Yeah, right. 2 days after they raided your house. Right? So you go down here with your attorney and you get in there, Darren Dupree, Greg Caden, and they have to read you your Miranda rights before they start recording or you talk. You obviously had to waive your Miranda rights when you sat down to talk to these people. Now let's get to this content real quick because I think this is. Hey, real quick, the dude Gumby, who are you talking about? Talking about wasn't no niggas from Compton that killed Pac. It was New York rappers that killed Pac for Bill Clinton, Quincy Jones, and Jimmy Iovine. 100, but I'll let you tell it since you know. Who told you that? You ain't even heard what I said. I told you stay tuned. Scanless working on that video as we speak. As you were. Matter of fact, just start watching the Docu-Series. We already been dropping hints to what happened with that anyway. This is the biggest blow that CS2 Back has suffered. When you hear this, it's so incriminating, bro. Hold on, where the hell am I at? Okay. Suge Knight. Boom. Let's go here. Boom. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to bring... all right, we don't need none of them. Where we at? So we got that. Now all I need is to get on with this to start the play. Bear with me, bear with me. 3 minutes. Just stay tuned. I don't believe what you talk about. The Jimmy Iovine. Oh, there it go. All right, here we go. Bam. But what you talk about, some rappers, that's bullshit.
They had against me.
You see, they just finger. The second thing they had against you, mute up real quick, y'all. Security.
Second thing they had against me, they press play, wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they get you.
So they
got me on the phone. Said, yeah. All right, what you got? Said, we got a special move. Where it's coming from? Down by National City, down by Tijuana, Mexico. Yeah. All right.
Now don't shoot him. I'm gonna call you.
Kind of heavy, but you know, it pay you like it'll pay you 23,000 one way. Where it's going? Seattle area, Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, multiple stops. You know, get it to them before they close. And I was you straight. All right, no problem. I'll be down there to get it.
You chilling with the answers.
So they turned off the thing.
Shoot him.
Like, well, you know, our Scott.
They turned off the thing, the recording. He said they turned it off. Listen to this.
Confidential informant that said you moving drugs with Suge Knight. I said moving drugs with Suge Knight. Now, me personally, I've never heard Suge involved in the cocaine, the drug dealing, none of that shit.
So they said we got you on wiretap and you moving drugs for Suge.
I said, well, can I make a phone?
You think you know what recording they got? They just played the recording for you. You think that they had the company call you for this big pickup so they could get you out the house because Stutterbox did told them your house is like Fort Knox because you allegedly always bragging about how you sell guns to the Crips and shit, right? You held Stutterbox down, right? The Eagle Beagle, right? And you had the Bulldog, right? All of this shit, he done told them that. So they have a company call you out with a big load, which was so much money they knew you wouldn't turn it down to get you out of the house. So they know what call that they're talking about. Before they come, they done, mind you, Stutterbox, the same nigga you said tried to line you up when y'all went to Stevie's on the Strip, and there was two bras there. One was a Creole from New Orleans. That was the lady from the Federal Task Force in the movie Unsolved. She was an FBI agent. You said you seen her on the 64th floor with a flap jacket on. Well, she was there on the 64th floor with a flap jacket on when you came in there because they're showing you that when she was asking you about 5 keys, nigga, you seen that fat ass pretty girl, nigga, and you bit like a big mouth bass. You got low self-esteem. Nigga, you gotta leave with your wallet to get you some pussy, nigga. Ain't no bitch fucking on you because they, other than if they think you could benefit on it. Nigga, you're buying, nigga, you're buying them ED pills already, nigga. Nigga, me and Maria don't have them problems. This motherfucker stay hard, nigga. You know what I'm saying? After I come, nigga, this thing still hard, nigga. So, nigga, you ain't just dicking bitches down. Can't even get hard, nigga. Nigga, you seen this pretty ass bitch. You was gonna talk to her about whatever it needed to talk about. So you have an action at cutting in and trying to get some of that pussy. And she lines your ass up. That's why Box lines your ass up. So now let's catch up with all of the charges that's on the table at this point, right? You sitting at the table. We done already talked about extortion and blackmail, conspiracy to extortion and blackmail that Stutterbox implicated you in. Now, you saying that they talking about the gun case, right? And the wiretap, right? They know if they got you on the wiretap. They know they're not coming to get you until they got you on the wiretap, dumbass nigga. You know how many niggas is in the feds for wiretap cases? Yeah, you better take that deal, my nigga, once you get there, unless you're going to give up some information. Let's listen to this one more time, my nigga.
Second thing they had against me, they press play, wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they get you. They got me on the phone. Said, yeah. All right, what you got? Said, we got a special move. Where's it coming from? Down by National City, down by Tijuana, Mexico. Yeah. All right. It's gonna be kind of heavy, but you know, it'll pay you 23,000 one way. Where's it going? Seattle area, Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, multiple stops. You know, get it to them before they close. And I was you straight. All right, no problem. I'll be down there to get it.
You chilling with the answers.
So they turned off the thing. They like, well, you know, our confidential informant said you moving drugs for Suge Knight. I said, moving drugs for Suge Knight. Now, me personally, I've never heard Suge involved in the cocaine, the drug dealing, none of that shit. So I'm looking at it like they crazy because I know what recording they got.
How you know what recording they got? Because they played the recording. Then you want us to believe that you asked them, could you get on the phone and you call a company and you think that they didn't cross their T's and dot their I's and see whether who that was you was talking to? Nigga, do you know that it was more than likely a controlled buy? Like, what the fuck is you? Who you think you talking to, bro? These dick sucking niggas on Clubhouse who don't know no better, bro. No, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think you're talking to? Nigga, the feds is going to make sure on the wiretap that you're talking about dope and you say enough before they show their hand. Let me see if this one is it. Damn, it's one of these.
Stay on you until
have to close
jurisdiction till they jurisdiction in till they get you. But listen to this, y'all. This was nasty.
Client on two.
So, wiretap.
Listen. He's in on the 64th floor, whatever floor, at the FBI headquarters building 2 days after they raided his house with his attorney sitting down, and this is what they tell him.
Dude says, well, we still got your client on two different situations.
We got your client. This is what Greg Caden and Darren Dupree done told Wack lawyer why he's right there. We got your client on two different charges.
Like, is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here, right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. And he's an ex-con.
Firearms, plural. Not one gun like he had Greg Caden come to admit. Firearms, plural. More than one. And the feds are saying, well, we got these guns. Listen.
Victor Felly, he can't be around firearms, right? So I stopped my attorney. I said, well, you ain't found no firearms in my house. He said, yes, we did. These firearms and such and such. I said, well, I ain't never seen them firearms in my life. He said, well, they registered to your wife. I said, well, what they got to do with me? He said,
those firearms in my life, they're registered to his wife. Listen, my nigga, firearms, plural.
Well, that's your wife. I said, okay, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, you live in a home. I said, you can't prove I live in that home. Right? What, you got some cars that's registered to a corporation? Matter of fact, I said, can I go in my back pocket? I pull my wallet out. I slide my wallet. What's this? That's where I live. I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. I got 13 houses on my portfolio. Which one you gonna put me in various states?
Whichever one that you, it don't matter how many residences you got. Y'all see, I just broke this shit down. Remember, multiple guns found at his house. He's in a truck. He say he stayed with a pistol, right? The Eagle Beagle and all of this shit, right? Even when he on the road. So he probably got caught with one of those in there also. Not to mention if it was some actual work involved, maybe it wasn't no work involved. You know, the feds will get you with ghost dope. Just acting or believing that you're going to go deal some dope or whatever. Let's go.
Dude says, well, we still got your client on two different situations. He like, is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here, right? So first situation, He said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms, right? So I stopped my attorney. I said, well, you ain't found no firearms in my house. He said, yes, we did. These firearms and such and such. I said, well, I ain't never seen them firearms in my life. He said, well, they registered to your wife. I said, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, that's your wife. I said, okay, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, you live in a home. I said, you can't prove I live in that home. Right? What, you got some cars that's registered to a corporation? Matter of fact, I said, can I go in my back pocket? I pull my wallet out. I slide my wallet. What's this? That's where I live. I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. I got 13 houses on my portfolio. Which one you gonna put me in various states?
So this is what he want to say. We already showed you what it takes to be in residency in the state of California. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm finna show you about what can happen to his wife. That's why she was in handcuffs. Remember this? These police, Detective Coet and them sheriffs, remember what they did to that Mexican family that I told y'all about over the sacks of weed? It was like 56 baggies of weed. And he taking the care. Oh, that's my weed, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, fuck that. We taking your wife because we want information on this murder. Man, that is mine. Why the fuck is y'all taking my wife? Man, I ain't got nothing to say. Well, now we're putting your kids in child protective services, right? Can an ex-felon have guns in his home? This is how simple as it is, man. This is as simple as it gets, right? Now, let me tell y'all the first Google search.
Yeah, he just
come
be
up.
popping it.
Let's just show
And
you
them
guys
niggas
what
so
comes up
dumb.
with that.
Hey, yo,
Can
the guys take Cobbins.
they're so slow. Them Clubhouse dick warmers. Whether an ex-felon can have guns in the home depends on state laws and their thing. Oh, they sending me in here. Let me go to California, which has the strictest laws. Let's go. Can you see that, y'all? Okay, I can see it. No, a convicted felon cannot own or possess a gun in California, even in their home. This includes purchasing, receiving, or having custody of a firearm. Explanation. All right. The ban is for life, even if the conviction has been expunged. Other people who are prohibited from owning guns include people convicted of certain misdemeanors, narcotic drug addicts, people with outstanding warrants for a felony, people subject to a protective or restraining order. Violating these laws is a felony. Penalties for being a felon in possession of a firearm include a year or whatever, right? All right. Can an ex-felon wife, let's put wife. Let's go here. A spouse of a convicted felon can own a gun in California, but the felon cannot. The spouse should keep the gun out of the felon's reach. California Penal Code prohibits felons from possessing firearms, gun control under PC 298 for you to have knowledge of, access to, and the right to control the firearm if you have a felony conviction, depending on the license of the firearm, as well as your ability to access it. Your wife may be able to keep the gun, but you can't. Now check this out, because can an ex-felon wife get constructive access liability? Damn, that's good information, Cameron. I didn't even know that. For guns in the home, guns in their home in California. Yes, an ex-felon spouse could be charged with constructive possession of a gun in California if she has access to it and knows it's in the home. So a felon could be charged with constructive possession even if the gun is kept locked in a safe. Listen, California Penal Code 298.00 prohibits felons from possessing firearms, including through constructive possession. Constructive possession means a felon had the ability to control the gun and knew it was in the home. A felon could be charged with constructive possession even if the gun is kept locked in a safe. A prosecutor could also charge the spouse with aiding and abetting a felon to obtain a firearm. So now, pretty Kimberly Jones, oh, pretty Kim, this nigga got you exposed, you know what I'm saying, because of some guns and guns, plural, in the house, you know what I'm saying? And this puts him in a very bad bind, you know what I'm saying? Because now they got Kim handcuffed outside the house. They got him up out the house and then stopped the diesel, searching that. And they come and then he meet with them. I don't know what happened at that point, but if you listen to Detective Coet, Cash Jones was arrested, so I don't know if he bailed out. I don't know what happened. But one thing he said, the only person arrested was Cash Jones. But the 2 days after the search warrant was served, the raid of his house and his truck, he went to meet with these people on the 60th floor. And we do know that his wife was at the house handcuffed because they found these guns, plural. So, Greg Caden, make sure you bring the search warrant. Make sure you bring a receipt of everything confiscated from that house so we can know exactly how many guns were kept there. And then we want an understanding of why the district attorney or the assistant United States attorney, the feds, or the state, County of Los Angeles, decided that it was no problem that Cash Jones had constructive possession of a firearm, an ex-felon. It seems that this joint task force and these deputized FBI and reluctantly the FBI has no problem. Even the judge in Texas, right? The judge in Texas and the prosecutor in Texas said that they believe that Cash Jones' possession of 3 guns, 800 rounds of ammunition was no threat to society. In fact, it would be in the interest of justice to dismiss that case. Nasty motherfucking work. I'm finna go ahead and download this Damu Keyway Conversations. We gonna run the content, finish telling the story, but until then, we let them where they know where they at, y'all.
Hey man, listen, y'all in tune in with Duse M, the Don, and the Keyway Pop Star. Listen, one of the dopest lives on YouTube, the voice of the culture, Duse M, Yael, in the West Coast, giving you the most, man. Listen, the co-host will be, hey, listen, I'm with him. Y'all know what it is, man. We in this thing. We in Damu Keyway Conversations.
What time you gonna be? We're gonna end that one since we could. I know y'all like, God damn, finish him. Well, we gonna finish him. We're gonna get into some more shit too. Let me bring this down. And then we're gonna run these. It's a 4-minute little video, and then I'll break something down, and we finna open up the chat on Clubhouse and anything everybody want to discuss at that point. And in the chat on here. So let's go to CS2 backing them live real quick. We gotta share this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you heard this, but it's crazy, right? That hold on. Let's go to the hip hop timeline. So We can go over everything, and then we'll play that little 4-minute video, and then we'll be on our way up out of here after everybody else get to say what they want. So, if you paid attention to the timeline on August 21st, 2007, Stutterbox make an alleged oral agreement to deliver artists to DeJa34. In November 2007, Box delivers Ray J to DeJa34 and Entertainment One, which at that time was Koch Records, who signs Ray J to a contract, cutting Stutterbox out of the contract. January 2008, after severing ties with Stutterbox, Mark Stevens receives voicemail messages within a couple months. I need to talk to you, man. The big fella's slipping. He making a lot of mistakes. Soon after getting that voicemail, Mark Stevens receives a call from Cash Jones. January 2008, Ross Stutterbox had his friend Cash Jones deliver a message to Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens that Box had a tape of Shaq having sex with a woman, not his wife, and TMZ would pay Stutterbox a lot of money for that tape. February 10th, 2008, on Grammy night, Stutterbox is kidnapped from the Pink Dot on Sunset Boulevard. Detective Mark Arenas assumed the investigation from West Hollywood sheriffs due to involvement in ongoing mainstream mafia Crip federal investigation. Interviewed by Mark Arenas and Christian Marikich about the kidnapping and robbery took place approximately 2 weeks after Cash Jones delivered the blackmail and extortion message to Stevens and O'Neal. On April 25th, 2008, a search warrant was served on Cash Jones' home and his truck. On April 27th, 2008, 2 days later, the 25th was a Friday. On the 27th, Cash Jones has a meeting at FBI headquarters. Right there, you just heard that they were recording him, which means he waived his Miranda rights and allowed them to talk to him and record while they doing it. We want that tape, Cash. You weren't supposed to say nothing, but you went down there, met with them people, and they started recording you. So we need to verify what was said, Mr. WACK100, right? They also tell him and put it online, we got you on Wiretap, right? They're talking about drugs. Now, if we all recall, we remember his rendition where he said Stutterbox took him to Stevie's on the Strip, where he met with two bad bras up there, one of them being a Creole, claiming she was from Louisiana, whose plug went dark. Well, me just studying CS2 back and his perverted nature, he definitely tried to do whatever he could to get at that bitch. And she wanted to work, so he was going to make it happen, whatever she wanted. July 23rd, 2008, investigator Fournier and Coet interviewed Del Dog. August 5th, 2008, CS2 back calls to Mark Steven, who calls Del Dog. That was the Wiretap. August 28, 2008, investigators wrote the search warrant for cellular phones and cell sites for the above-mentioned individuals. Honorable Judge Roger Ito at Norwalk Superior Court signed the search warrant. September 11, 2008, investigators interviewed Ray J. September 17, 2008, Mark Stevens was interviewed by the LA County Sheriff's Homicide Bureau, represented by Nicholas Tonsich. September 23rd, 6 days later, Shaquille O'Neal is interviewed at the USC Gallon Center locker room. And then May 28, 2009, Tanisha Swan meets with Greg Kading and Darren Dupree, where she reiterates and cleans up the alleged assassination of Biggie Smalls. She's driven in a car by Reggie Wright Jr. And we'll get into that more later on to connect the dots for y'all. And she tells them Suge Knight wanted Biggie Smalls murdered, told her he would have somebody contact her with cash so it wouldn't be marked, and for her to pay Poochie, right? And mind you, this is at the end when they say that they're convinced that Poochie did it. But the day that they first found out and heard Poochie name was April 27, 2008. That's CS2 back. What he debriefed about the homicide that they were talking about, that was an open case, and while he was telling me I wouldn't be able to get all of the investigative report, the 302s, the audio, and the tape recording, well, for one, because he's a 137 informant, but what he tried to justify it was because it's an open homicide investigation. Well, Greg Kading is the lead investigator in the unaliving of Christopher Wallace. You know what I'm saying? So we had that, and now I want to give y'all this exposure shit, and I want y'all to pay attention, because like they were talking about it in chat, CS2 back been working. As we can go back to the gun case in Texas as the earliest thing, but studying this, I become aware of a lot of other coincidences and understanding how the feds work, and then understanding that Reggie Wright Jr. is the one that brought WACK100 around. Not no power rules, not no Crips. You was brought around without a job. You're driving trucks and all of that. So what are you hanging around for? And why are you hanging around Reggie Wright Jr.? You were not getting paid. You're just hanging around, listening, gathering information. I believe that he was planted at death row while Suge was already incarcerated so that he could be up under Suge when Suge get out. And I also believe he was planted at Stutterbox house. Neighbor Kim was a probation officer, so she also has ties to law enforcement. But I want y'all to understand, when I talk about CS2 back, you're going to hear on this audio, he asked Reggie Wright Jr. to gather some information for him, because he knew some DAs and he knew some detectives. And they're going to talk about Brick Baby, right? And we could talk about that. That's a different subject. But then you're going to hear them go into the Little Dirt conspiracy to murder for hire, which allegedly occurred in Los Angeles, California. And you're going to hear Reggie Wright Jr. say, you know, my friend, we talk about him and WACK100. You know, my peeps, you know who's on that case. And I asked Reggie Wright, who was he talking about when he said that was his friend that was on the task force that investigated the Little Dirt case. And this is the day that Dirt, look at the date on this, what you call it. Let me see. 3 months ago. This is the day after Dirt was indicted, meaning Reggie Wright Jr. was talking with this task force officer about this investigation on Lil Dirt before Lil Dirt was even indicted. That's the kind of relationship Reggie Wright Jr. has with law enforcement till today. We expose him as a known informant. he set up and wore a wire on the mayor of Compton, right? The Peter Roll Mafia in Tennessee, he got them boys taken down. He took Tanisha Swan to the ATF or DEA office on Temple Street in downtown LA to say that Suge Knight ordered her to give some money to Poochie to kill Biggie Smalls. This is the same piece of shit who had a whole who tried to take over at a whole conspiracy to pull a coup and take over death row while Suge was in jail. So listen to these 4 minutes, and you guys is gonna understand. Not only was Wack a working informant, which we established, but this shit is a whole lot deeper than just him working. There's levels to this informant shit, and you finna meet his big homie, the informant that put him on.
They are not killers. They have not been charged. They have not been charged in this case. They are rappers who are signed to OTF. Let's not put that on them, Flacco.
Hey, can we stop talking about the killing though? Like, come on.
Listen, Flacco,
I know
if
people
nobody
want
want
to
to
do
do
something
something to you, if they did, Flacco, they'd have did something to you. You need to chill out. So, Reg, I'm reading the paperwork, right? And it looks to me like I don't think any of the 5 people told the feds that Dirt dropped the bag. I don't think none of them. I think that came from something prior. I think they already got that from somewhere else because they keep making reference to that, but I don't think it was any of them people that said that. I think their time, what they knew to what happened.
Yeah, yeah. It don't seem like it. I really don't have no information on it, so I ain't gonna comment too much on that.
Yeah,
I got another subject I want to talk about that you had me to research. I got a little information on, so I'll wait until I get. Yeah,
that you had me to research.
Breaking news.
Oh,
what happened? Brick Baby told us. He told me on Clubhouse that he had a DA reject for the AK-47 case. He called June 2023.
all right.
Reggie go research that because he forgot.
I can honestly tell y'all, there was no gun arrest. That he only got charged with 11,350 AH&S. Y'all know what that is? A possession of a controlled substance.
Wait, hold up.
I can honestly tell y'all on that date.
And that's on June 23rd.
And that's on everything I love. That's on my word, my name.
Reg, okay, Reggie. I need to ask.
I think it was June the 19th of June or something like that. June, whatever the date, June the 23rd, whatever the date is.
Poor Brick.
Make some sense of this. If the police come to your house and the feds, not the police. The LAPD and the feds for devices and guns, and they.
I think it was actually a task force on 600.
Wait, and they find the.
Did y'all hear Reggie? I think it was actually a task force. Let's play that back again. Reggie know exactly who raided Brick House. He might have called the hit and Pat dropped the information. Maybe him and Adam worked together with Wack on that one. Let's play that again real quick.
Possession of a controlled substance.
Wait, hold up.
I can honestly tell y'all on that date.
Wait. And that's on June 23rd.
And that's on everything I love. That's on my word, my name.
Reg, okay, Reggie. I need to ask.
I think it was June the 19th of June or something like that. June, whatever the date, June the 23rd, whatever the date is.
Poor Brick.
Make some sense of this. If the police come to your house and the feds, not the police. The LAPD and the feds for devices and guns, and they.
I think it was actually a task force on 600.
Wait, and they find the AK-47, bro, and on your
Hip-Hop
paperwork that you pulled, there's no mention of the AK-47
or the phone.
All I'm saying is all if he's saying that he got arrested and he went to Compton Courthouse,
that's a fact.
All
Aaron.
I'm saying is the case that they put on him, that's on the record on his rap sheet, is 11350 H&S. No 12021, no 12025, no I don't even know the feds codes or any of that for weapons.
Hold
If a weapon was taken out of their house.
He said they took an AK-47.
Okay, let me be a conspirator, or let me speculate. Wonder if have anybody asked this? Because y'all know those dudes didn't want to get on the plane with no weapon, right? Have you ever thought about maybe he's the one, or when they went there, they got that gun?
We are, come on, we already ahead of that, bro.
Let me tell you what I know now,
Okay.
Reggie. See, Reggie, I had you do one thing. I intentionally asked you to do one thing.
Only thing at Compton Courthouse.
I told you to research Compton Courthouse.
Correct.
He said it was two agencies there, LAPD or sheriff, which he lied because LAPD and defense. So that
drone and
any
everything like that.
Courthouse is in the feds, and he still yet to have a court date. And who is investigating this little dirt thing? And the co-conspirator number 4, a dude from LA.
Well, I know that's a task force that was doing that, because I know the LAPD cop that was on that case, right? Now
LAPD cop that was on that case.
Because that was a big case, that was, and we know who all was working that got a big name that deals with all the rap stuff.
LAPD officer. We all know who's working that case because that was a big case. This is the day after Dirt has been and the one that deals with all that rap stuff. Hold on. We gonna back that up just you know what LAPD officer he talking about? Oh, y'all ain't figured it out? CS2. Nah, bro. He's talking about Darren Dupree, WACK100's handler, Greg Caden's partner, bro. He's the hip-hop police. Y'all didn't know that? Oh, y'all ain't been keeping up with it. Let me go to Darren Dupree real quick, and we're going to break down his profile, because just like he's profiling me and Big U and Yael and our crew right now, we profiling him too. You know what I'm saying?
So he's like the Derek Parker. Derek Parker was the head on the East Coast. So he's like that on the West.
Yeah, but they don't really call it hip-hop police out here. Hey, we got a super chat. Yael, can you read that while I get this real quick, bro? Yeah.
Yo, I'm getting it. Hold on 1 second.
Appreciate that, King.
It says Gold Digger with the $20 super chat, serving up the content with the bird, Duse M, Yael, cooking tonight. Heart fire, heart fire, heart fire. Hey man, Gold Digger, we appreciate the $20 super chat. Anything and everything that is given to the Damu Kiwe Conversations team is highly appreciated. Blessings to you, your family, and your tribe. Salute.
Hey, salute. We really appreciate it. So Darren D. Dupree, born and raised in South Central Los Angeles in the Crip territory, raised up by a single mother. His family had major drug dealers in it. Not no lightweight drug dealers, nigga, real drug dealers. He developed a deep appreciation for rap music, hearing in it an authentic expression of the streets that he knew so well. Assigned to Wilshire Division, eventfully getting selected for Wilshire Crash Unit, grasping and understanding more about LA's black gangs, the major players, the economic base, the hierarchies, and the pecking orders. He was later tapped by other LAPD investigators as well as the feds for his expertise on gangs and hip-hop. He urged cops to arrest Keefe D, I wonder why they wanted he wanted to get Keefe D convicted. Was partners with Detective Greg Kading. He was one of the cops that Detective Poole gave the confession letter to in the murder of Tupac Shakur. That confession letter would have made the jurisdiction. It was a conspiracy to murder in that theory. Who knows if the theory is correct? But it would have gave jurisdiction of Tupac's murder to Los Angeles because it was at a part that this alleged conspiracy to murder started. He illegally accessed, Darren Dupree illegally accessed LAPD computers, and he cloned cell phones and was reprimanded by LAPD. Darren D. Dupree also leaked the confession letter to Greg Kading and is the subject of an internal affairs investigation, CF number 14/00/1995. He leaked that letter to Greg Kading that he got from Detective Poole, and only 4 of them were. And if you don't know the story after that, Detective Poole was pointing the finger at the murder of Biggie Smalls at other law enforcement within Los Angeles. And we finna get into this exposures video, and then we gonna open it up. What's up? Take her. Let's go. Let's rewind that just a little bit so y'all can hear that. It's only 4 minutes. Boom. Here we go.
Ask you to do one thing.
Only thing at Compton Courthouse.
I told you to research Compton Courthouse.
Correct.
He said it was 2 agencies there, LAPD or sheriff, which he lied because LAPD and the feds. So that
the drone and everything like that.
Courthouse is in the feds, and he's still yet to have a court date. And who is investigating this little dirt thing? And the co-conspirator number 4, a dude from LA.
Well, I know that's a task force that was doing that because I know the LAPD cop that was on that case, right? Now,
Darren Dupree,
because that was a big case, that was, and we know who all was working that got a big name that deals with all the rap stuff.
Him and
so you know who I know. So all I can just say is on that date, only thing he got arrested and went to the court for was a possession of controlled substance.
Which means he beat Adam out of the 10 grand. That ain't no $10,000.
And that make bail that's what the bail is for possession of cocaine or controlled substance. Well, at least when I was around, it was 10 G's.
Yo, Luke.
So that makes sense.
What's going on?
He ain't never showed his bill.
Hey, but listen,
I'm telling you, I guarantee. I put this on my name that he got arrested for 11,350 H&S.
Hey, Pooka Butts. Listen, I know you're gonna watch this, but listen, you got to be more careful because somebody in your circle is telling me everything. And we know.
Right. Bro, I personally sent Reggie his first and last and his date of birth. He like January.
I guess we supposed to be ignorant and don't do investigative journalism.
January.
Damn.
Yeah. So he did say the feds and LAPD was there. Reg pulled the Compton court. Rick Baby told us it was Compton court. He told us it was a DA reject. Reggie, if it was a reject, would you have seen that? Would they have told you that?
It wouldn't have got on his raps.
It wouldn't have got on his raps. This is real police talk. But check this out real quick. We got Laramias Moore L. Since when do members do investigative journalism? Hey, my nigga, I guess we supposed to be dumb members, right? We ain't supposed to be prepared or strategize when we up against it, huh? Niggas, get the fuck out of here with that weird ass question. Nigga, of course we gonna investigate, nigga. Should we be up here sounding ignorant? Is that your perception of what a member is? The most dangerous gangsters, nigga, is an intelligent gangster. Because while you thinking just about the hands and a pistol, you got a nigga that'll trick you up out your motherfucking life. Weird ass niggas, man. Let's go.
Which lockers are even numbers and which are odd numbers? Did you know 88% of Milwaukee?
When it got on this, well, you can get a DA reject on your raps. You can get a DA reject on your raps. And to be honest, I didn't ask my person. He gonna send it to me. He didn't want to text it to me. He gonna give it to me. So I'll get it within a few days. But he just told me that all he got arrested for that day was 11,350 H&S, and I was looking for a gun.
Paperwork that he was showing. So Brick, Brick was showing. Wait, so Brick got arrested by the Joint Task Force. This same Joint Task Force that is working on the Lil Durk investigation, headed by Darren Dupree. I don't know if it's headed by Darren Dupree, but working with Darren Dupree, who is the hip hop police for the West Coast, even though they don't call them hip hop police, and gang investigation. So when these dudes is telling you that Big U's under investigation, they know Big U's under investigation. Why do you think they've been incriminating Big U? They're putting crimes that they did on Big U, right? You know, the extortion, 3 counts, right? What else they said? The Nipsey Hussle murder. Any crime they done did or associated with, or they think they heard of, they try to put on him, maybe to keep their ass from up out of jail. But they're not the only ones. As you see, Lil Durk got arrested, indicted. Darren Dupree's on him. And I'm quite sure with the way I've been exposing his rats, you know what I'm saying, and what's going on, they gonna have me under investigation, but I don't give a fuck. Knowing is half the battle, and we've been under attack since these people came to this land. Because our people was already here. They started bringing our other people from the motherland. They've been under attack since they hit the motherland and carved it up like a piece of pizza. We've been under attack since 1492 in the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal. After ruling for nearly 1,000 years, the Moors and the Jews were expelled. The Alhambra decree by the church, forcing Christianity on you, or you're going to be persecuted. A lot of our people left there. They came to the Americas. And those educated people who knew Spanish already in the Americas were also referred to as Ladinos, Sephardic Jews, a lot of other things. But we'll educate on all of that later. But one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. We've been under attack by this government, their judicial system, economic disparities, and white supremacy. The threat of violence by the slave catchers, not the ones that used to chase our ancestors when they were slaves. I'm talking about what they evolved into today. Local LAPD officers, gang unit, hip-hop police, Los Angeles County sheriffs, NYPD, and the feds, DEA, ATF. A war on gangs was always code word for war on our communities. A war on drugs was always code a dog whistle for a war on our community. Right now, this is what we facing, and this is what we up against. The hip-hop police. But I fear no man save God. And in these last days, the Most High has moved me to whatever it needs to be to sacrifice, make sure the truth is out there. Yael, you've been real quiet. They've been complaining, saying you are mute. Why don't you take over from here, brother? And then we'll run it however we want. This is your show, King. Yeah. Brick Baby went to jail right after he left from being around 600. He said that. But what I'm saying is he lying? Did he come to the internet lying about getting caught with the AK because he was embarrassed he got caught with his drug habit or some kind of possession? He wasn't even sales, so it probably ain't even a felony, right? He got some shit that he used. Or do y'all believe that he really did get caught with an AK and that they lying? What I do know is that task force is on. That task force is in the 60s right now. And I'm quite sure it won't be long before they turn their attention until the next big Crip gang or black gang in Los Angeles that's popping in the rolling 40s. I've seen 600 around there a lot. Y'all niggas be careful over there. Y'all niggas didn't want to believe niggas. Reggie just cut Crip Cop. Crip Cop been saying Brick had a fair case. Right. So yeah, Reggie just cut him off. Call back. You said that to Gold Digger. Hey, we finna drop the link. Anybody want to come up? Could come up. And what time is it? Yeah, we got about 15 minutes. Yael, anything you want to say? Or you ain't got no good reception right now? RKTV. Yeah, so I don't want to put that jacket on Brick and say he hot. I've seen some people jumping to that conclusion. I believe it's possible, but you get motherfuckers due diligence. You know what I'm saying? You don't catch a federal case and don't go to court. Brick Baby is 12-2. Shad jumped out there and said it. You know what I'm saying? Remo, yeah, I don't know nothing about that dude, Remo. He was just on there looking like he was Spooky Johnson. He seen all them police. He felt like how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Scandalous Los Angeles is in the building. Salute. Dupree, yeah. Darren Dupree, the same Darren Dupree that was Greg Caden's partner on the Biggie and Tupac murder investigation. The same Darren Dupree who worked with Detective Poole when Biggie was first unalived, and Detective Poole gave him a copy. Only 4 officers were given a copy of the alleged confession letter. Yeah, Darren Dupree was one of them, and he gave it to Greg Caden, who leaked it to the news. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of cover-ups going on the Biggie and the Tupac assassinations, and that's what we're getting into. These dudes and how they work with these and flip these dudes is just us showing and illustrating what's going on. So all you youngsters that's out there that's on this internet, don't feel you got to prove yourself to nobody. That the cyber world is fake. It's fraud. It's a false sense of reality. People edit their life to all the highlights, right? Nothing about the dirty grind, the sacrifice, just all of the highlights of the best pictures of them. It's fictitious, right? Don't allow anyone to pump you up or make you feel you need to pull up, demonstrate that you a gangster or that you ain't no punk, because it's not real. And you might pull up and it be a raid and you get caught up with some pistols or something else. I got a case, U.S. versus Trayvon Adams. Y'all could pull that up. And it was some Crips, allegedly. One of my crimees, Baby Bomb. That's Trayvon Adams, right? On my conspiracy to bank robbery when we went to the feds. He's arguing with someone on social media, and he jumps in his DMs and he threatens them, right? Yeah, this and this and that, fuck you niggas, and sent the video with him with the AK, said, nigga, I trained my young niggas well, and this motherfucker got two of your dead homies on it, which he wasn't capping. He sent that picture, which gave them probable cause because he wasn't talking to a rival gang member. He was talking to the police, fronting like they was gangsters. He ended up getting, I think, 8 or 10 years for that. I got to look over the case. This is what's going on. These dudes is acting like they're podcasters. $800 million or $700 million was the budget this year for cyber informants and cyber security. Wack admitted it was him on the movie The Truck Driver. Yeah, but they had changed his name. He admitted it after we exposed it. We got to expose it, Reggie Wright Jr. when Reggie was mad at him. You know, we had to pit them against each other. A lot of them dudes that we just seen and we talked about, they don't like each other, but they have a common cause. They've all been broken. You know what I'm saying? Like broken slave. He was definitely set up. Wait, what should I say? He was definitely set up, but he working too. Brick do all that talking, but stay hollering at the exposers behind camera. I don't blame him for hollering at the exposers behind camera. He might just look at it as content, especially, well, if he see Loose, I think he getting down with Loose off the top. He can't be around Loose without that. But Wack, he looking at it like, I'm not finna be the one to crash out and do that and fuck off what I got going on. That ain't my business. I'm leaving it alone, right? I think him and Wack got that kind of agreement. He trolls Wack, but I don't think he's trying to have, I think they probably already met. Him and Wack, they work in the same building. Now, Loose Coochie and 600, I don't think he'll meet up with them because they from 60s. He'll have to stand on business. You know what I'm saying? But as far as recording them, shit, nigga, me and Reggie Wright ain't friends. Nigga, I get on the phone, I record his ass every time, knowing that when you see the hip-hop police on the side of those things, their closest nexus is Reggie Wright Jr. And then you go down, you get Wack, who then takes the information that he said, and we're going to play that for you many times, where he said, I get all my information from Reggie. You know where I went? Reggie Wright Jr., right? And he gets that disinformation that he's getting from the police, putting out whatever narratives they want, and they disseminate that disinformation to the Crip Cop, Rico the Rat, Raze, on platforms like Vlad TV, Queen Academics, Adam 22 No Jumper, and they spread all of this disinformation and incriminating information. Let's go. I think y'all I talked to dog. Hey, you know what? We finna go out, but before we go out, I got it. While we got y'all up in here, man, I need everybody in here to go subscribe to our Damu Kiwe Conversations comedy page. It's called A Dose of Reality TV. And I need y'all to do this for me for one reason, right? I don't think that's it. Bear with me. We finna watch this one video. And you know who else who had that relationship? Spy the Loke. You know what I'm saying? He had that relationship with Reggie Wright Jr. He also caught a gun case, an ex-felon with a gun case. And he said they gave him probation. You know what I'm saying? Nasty work, bro. Some real nasty work. But we're going to get into this real quick. This is why I told y'all to go subscribe. If y'all haven't seen it, matter of fact, let's get into it. It ain't that long. Let me go ahead and show y'all what's popping, though. Hey, salute to RG Escarai. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. You know what I'm saying? Spider Loke admits to giving info on Nina Boy to corrupt cop Reggie Wright Jr. gang betrayal. Reggie Wright Jr., who's friends, and exchange information with the hip-hop police. Nasty work. Go subscribe. Dose of Reality TV. I'm putting the link in the chat. Everybody hit that link in the chat.
Previously on Confidential Informant Part 2.
Y'all support us. Please go support my boy, A Dose of Reality TV. That's his comment that's up on the board. I just put the link in the chat.
Pause. Shout out my nigga Reggie Wright Jr. and Senior. Hey, is currently active in my campaign to get my comrade from Southside Conti Crip, Mike DeRoe Jr., aka Lil Al, BG Al, free Lil Al. Shout out to Big Reggie Lil Reggie. Now, let me tell y'all something.
Remember that. Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Online, you did some bullshit. Publicly. Nigga. And then we got over here, whatever, but you know me, it's whatever. You was that, it was that. Down the line, got into with Reggie. Reggie called me like, I got some D-Nerd on it. I plugged him with a homegirl that has a rape allegation.
CS2 back, Crip Topping, Loose Booty Cannon.
I don't give a fuck.
Mind you, I am the epitome of a smutless keyway.
He just don't get it, man. So I got some phone calls. I was on the phone with a lot of homies, man, and he ain't from the hood, man. I don't know why he trying to play victim and all that, but I told a nigga like this, man. I got some homies coming on here real soon, man. They gonna come on here and it's gonna look bad for them.
Juvenile hall till now, 49 years old. Gang banging, absolutely zero smut.
Sir.
Nigga, I'm the most eastiest, cuz you ain't banged it damn near 30 years, 20 years.
Hey, what the fuck is you taping for, Keisha? We thugs, we can't be on no TV.
Everybody said it's live. We need this shit to go viral.
This time, this individual lost their life. God bless the dead, unfortunately. And Nina Boy was on the campaign singing cuz praises.
And the problem is this. The whole Coast Guard went to that man's funeral. So if you said that I was sympathizing with somebody on paperwork, you gotta be mad at the whole Coast Guard, homie. Not even that.
Guess what the fuck I did in my war mind? Who got the biggest platform I know that I have access to? Reggie Wright. I called my friend Reggie Wright.
Hey, can you please tell your Negro to back the hell up off me?
Hey, pelvis back 2 inches, homie, but stay up on her though. What the fuck is it like then, Keisha?
If you listen, I'll tell you.
You tell me.
Who didn't hear me a couple weeks ago when I said I don't give a fuck about what Nan Damu got to say about Keyway business. But we got people from First Street East Coast, shout out my nigga Tank, who was present at the exact funeral. I only say this because I'm at the funeral. It's a big black nigga from East Coast walk up on me, aggressive as fuck, being funny and showing love, talking about the last thing I expected to hear, Damu Keyway conversations. I'm like, huh? Yeah, I fuck with Duse M, that's my people. I'm like, is that right? So I immediately take a picture, sent it to Duse M. A couple days later, me the homie Tank for
Hold on.
First Street, we all on the phone together. I say that to say this. Nigga, you have first-hand access if you want to know what I did at the funeral.
Yeah, man. Hey, you was about to get your ass beat up bad, but nigga, you already had a cameraman. Listen, you had a cameraman with you, and it was one of the most important funerals of the year, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That was the G homegirl, cuz wasn't nobody. Nigga, you know you got that hall pass, cuz you on this internet, and everybody know, cuz niggas is not. I'm telling y'all, we don't want that nigga. Nobody won't, cuz. Ain't nobody fucking with him.
He told on Wack, told on the 7
Come on out,
Street.
cuz. Ray, cut it out. You're gonna make it mad. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. He should be worried about making Ray mad up in here, bitch.
Who you calling a bitch?
Show yourself.
No, Ray, don't do that. Don't. Thinking it was thorough. They were supported by Big U, Papa LQ.
What the fuck is that?
I thought they were official. We had a fake ass internet gang that I had them convinced that I really was pleased to be a part of.
I know how this goes. Don't turn on me, y'all. Y'all the last group of people I can connect with online. Without y'all, there's nobody.
But actually, personally, being a part of it held absolutely zero consequence. But
Yeah,
as
you're right, we gotta
politic
start
anyway,
doing the live
we share a few
following.
of the same ops. Holding on 100 to be particular.
Man, this crazy. I'm sitting back. This is all the messages that this nigga been. He send me messages every day. Every day. This is Spider sending me all this content. All this content. But you don't fuck with me. But why in the fuck is you constantly sending me info? Come on, bro. Spider-Lo told me, look, I told you he been out here hating on you on the low. Look, this is Spider-Lo sending me WACK100 number. Bruh. This is Spider sending me WACK100 number, bro. Like, come on, man. This is crazy. Man,
Spider
that's crazy.
sending me
Spider-Lo
boy
sent me
WACK100 number.
Like this.
I talked to dog.
Y'all look at Reggie Wright like the police. I never have. He's one of my peers in this content creator space and a long life friend for 25 years.
I don't give a fuck.
Coming soon to a dose of reality TV.
Ever since you've been on the internet, you have threatened people, disrespected people and their loved ones, disrespecting the dead, blackmailing people in the open. Cash Jones, or should I say CS2 back, your actions have consequences. I want to play a game.
And that's all, folks.
Hey, shout out to my boy, A Dose of Reality TV. You heard, that's all, folks, at the end. That was Yael with his voiceovers. They done already started. I'm telling you now, these niggas got their own lane. Niggas ain't gonna be able to fuck with them. He got the visuals. Yael got the voiceovers. And these brothers is finna take over the internet with that dope-ass content. Go subscribe to A Dose of Reality TV right there. That's my guy. We got the homie Dollar Brim up here. Dollar, what's up, homie? What you want to say? And then I'm finna take the dog out. We gonna end this shit. It's 4 hours, going on 4 hours, nigga.
Nah, you good, homie.
Causing conflict and confusion. You right about that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, you good.
So as far as everybody that's in this live, please share this with everybody that you know can appreciate it, especially them young niggas that y'all know that's on them blocks that don't know what's really going on, that think it's cute to be flashing their burners on social media, that think it's cool, you know what I'm saying, to be pulling up and hopping out on niggas, dropping the low and all of that type of shit. when they being monitored, it's GPS on their phones, it's pinging off of the nearest tower, and they're going to be able to trace you right back to that hot one you thought you was getting away with. You know what I'm saying? It's in LA, it's cameras everywhere, right? And fuck those cameras, you got walking cameras, these informants. So when you see motherfuckers like CS2 back, 600 pennies, the Crip Cop, Loose Coochie Cannon, Rico the Rat Rose. Oh, we gonna get to Rico the Rat Rose. We got a lot of other people though, but those that give a platform for these people pushing it without checking the accuracy of such statements. Duse M is a rat. Unheard of. But you got all of these YouTubers that ran with that narrative. Duse M is in witness protection. How the fuck I'm in witness protection and my video shoots turn to gang meetings, you dumbass niggas? But y'all ran with that. Their platforms have no credibility. They're clowns, buffoons, goofologists, 101. And they get this information from CS2 back and they run it on their shit, talk about some likes. When you motherfuckers better be very, very careful, YouTubers, running false narratives, because you saying I'm a blogger or I'm a YouTuber ain't gonna stop niggas from going upside your motherfucking head. Believe that. You attracted to this gangster lifestyle, the streets and all of that lifestyle, you're going to be part of it. You're going to be a motherfucking victim because you got some dudes out here that's all they live for. That's all they breathe. That's all they sleep. They wake up to bang. And you going to give them the reason to do something that day they catch you. So I'm going on that note, man. Salute to everybody. Share this with your friends. Let these young niggas know what's going on. Tune in to tomorrow for day 12. Hip Hop Police Docu-Series. We out of here. Damu Kiwe. Conversation.